NYPD is 15. His name is not being given out because of his age. Cops say that video surveillance was used to help witnesses ID the person who is charged with sexual battery, false imprisonment, and assault to commit a felony. The current high school district and Del Oro High School are being accused of negligence in a lawsuit against them that also names former band assistant Salvador Fabian, who is accused of sexual abuse of a student. That student is the one bringing the lawsuit through her attorneys for abuse that police say happened last year at the hands of Fabian. The suit claims the administration didn't stop the abuse. Fabian was arrested in October of 25 after an incident with that student in the school parking lot. Exactly what went on at Freddy's Smoke Shop and Freddy's Smoke Shop number 2 in Ridgecrest wasn't made clear by police, but their license to sell tobacco products has been revoked. The police say that is after they determined that those stores and the people running them had operated outside the law. Those police remind the public that having a business license is a privilege. You may not realize that donating an organ can involve someone who is living as well as the deceased to fill out organ donation papers. Some people are able to donate kidneys while alive, and doctors say that the kidney that is left gets bigger and compensates so the body can function as normal. Kern Medical is reminding people that donating organs can save a life during National Donate Life Month. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm going to make him an offer again.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing, for those subscribing on YouTube. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Thursday, 23rd day of April. It's a gorgeous afternoon in Bakersfield. We got a gorgeous show for you. Coming up, the anniversary of the infamous stay in Tehachapi that has ruined the political career of the one star. Also talking about the lawsuit being waged against Del Oro High School. You'll hear from the victim's attorney in the lawsuit that not only includes Del Oro High School, but the staffer, Salvador Fabian, who's accused of having sex with a 15-year-old. Kathy Abernathy will join us uncharacteristically on a Thursday to walk us through last night's gubernatorial debate. Pivotal, as both Republicans still on top of the leaderboard as we fast approach June. It's Thursday, so Mr. Turnipseed, Mike Turnipseed, Kern Tax will be here at 4 o'clock, Daniel Petrie at 4:30, and we're expecting either Jim Scoggins, one of the honor flight leaders, or perhaps one of the veterans, although I wouldn't count on that. Lily is doing her best. Those guys have to be exhausted. They got back last night. I hope you were out there at Meadowsfield to welcome them home. Honor Flight 53. All three stations had some video. KGET sent a reporter. And Kim Whitaker, who is the Honor Flight photographer, has got some really nice pictures up on Facebook. She took like one panel is like 96 pictures deep. So if you want to see some of the trip, just go to Honor Flight on Facebook. And yesterday was, as I mentioned, their final day. It's kind of a laid back day. It's a travel day. It starts with really one of the brighter parts of the trip. You get to visit Capitol Hill, and you're escorted there by Vince Vaughn, who takes you actually into the House of Representatives. And that's not standard fare for Honor Flight. That is special to us because if you remember, when Honor Flight began, we had a very powerful friend in Kevin McCarthy. And then there was even a period, obviously, during Honor Flight when he was Speaker of the House. And as I said yesterday, I have a picture of me on the speaker balcony. And so Kevin started the tradition, and now Vince Fong has picked it up. And you get to sit in the house, the actual house where the State of the Union is given, where Franklin Roosevelt declared war on the Japanese. I mean, just the incredible history. Douglas MacArthur giving his farewell speech. And as I always tell Chris, one of the first things I do, I've done it maybe 3 or 4 times, and I run to the dais every single time just to stand where Roosevelt stood. Douglas MacArthur stood. The president stands. I do it every single time. And I'm like the only one stupid enough and geeky enough to do that. But it's a really fun part of it. And then they fly out of Baltimore. So in one fell swoop, you head to Fort McHenry, which is in Baltimore, learn the story of the Star Spangled Banner and Francis Scott Key, who wrote the Star Spangled Banner. So hopefully we'll have somebody in the 5 o'clock and we'll talk a little baseball. The Dodgers finally got off the snide, taking only 1 of 3 from the stinky, smelly Giants. They played this afternoon. Tyler Glasnow went deep. In fact, he may have gone 8 innings, I think. And the pitching has been phenomenal. I mean, we wasted 6 innings of scoreless ball last night from 17. Shohei and got a loss. Yoshi went 7 and got a loss. Wroblewski went 8 innings. I mean, our pitching could not be better. It's just the hitting has been spotty. I mean, even in today's win, we only got 3 runs. And you know who's in the worst slump of all our Dodgers? Shohei. Shohei. He's like 3 for 23 with runners in scoring position.
Oh, true.
He's hitting 250. He's got 5 home runs, and that came in a little bit of spurt like 2 weeks ago. He didn't have any really to start the season. Then he got that little 5-run spurt, and he's got nothing to show for it of late.
He is still hitting first for you guys, right?
Yes.
Do you think that's maybe why? Maybe he's just not the best with runners in scoring position? Maybe that's his one flaw?
No, he's
Again, just throwing spaghetti at the wall here.
No, he's just not hitting. He's just not hitting. I mean, 250. If you're hitting 4th or 1st, you're not getting it done. I mean, he's striking out a lot. He's rolling into double plays a lot. He's grounding out a lot. He just doesn't look like Shohei. I don't know. But we got to win. So a win is a win. So we'll take it. What are you going to do? A couple of stories that I just... it's the 2-year anniversary of that infamous night. And what has really brought this story back to a lot of people's attention is obviously what Shannon Grove is doing with SB 1373 and her visit up there with, again, estranged wife, Christina Scrivener, and, excuse me, Open Door Network Executive Director, Lauren Skidmore, and Robert Skidmore, the second of the 2 boys of the Scrivener family, and his testimony before a committee, a Senate committee, with information that we vaguely knew. I mean, we obviously heard the sheriff, we've heard the warrant, we've heard reports of what happened, but to hear from Robert Scrivener is startling. We played this for you yesterday. Here it is again. This is, again, Robert Scrivener testifying before a Senate committee, explaining what happened 2 years ago on this day in Tehachapi.
On April 23rd, 2024, my dad came home from work and then later that night crawled into bed with one of my younger siblings and molested them. My sibling came downstairs crying to me that their own father had done the unspeakable. I then walked upstairs to confront my father. to protect my sibling, and in an altercation, I had to take a firearm away from my father with my older brother. After that, I had surgery on my right arm from the physical abuse at my father's hands.
So we didn't know, we had not confirmed, let's put it that way, that the 11-year-old told the brother what had happened, A. B, we didn't know specifically about the tussle over the firearm. It had been described, but again, we're getting it now firsthand from one of the boys that was involved. We didn't know which of the two boys specifically was injured. We now know it was Robert. And as we said yesterday, and as we've said consistently throughout this whole thing, these kids will forever remember this. This will never go away in their lives. And Zach Scrivener gets to skip away and take a class at Cal State and restart his whole life, apparently. Why else would he be taking a class at Cal State? And it'll be fascinating as hell to see who in the world is going to hire him, because that man is radioactive. And the idea that Kathy Skidmore has somehow, as I talked about yesterday, eluded any type of culpability in telling the young girl that we now know came running down the stairs wanting to tell her truth. That wasn't until Grandma got there. That wasn't until Kathy Scrivener got there. She told her truth to her brother, but Grandma told her not to tell her truth to the police, which somewhere I read is a crime. But there she sits. There sits Kathy Scrivener on one of our school boards. There sit her colleagues, knowing damn well she's committed a crime, according to our sheriff. And they smile in her face, welcome her to the meetings. Hi, all right, Kathy, good to see you. It's amazing, stunning, absolutely stunning. And it gets back to my thesis. This Del Oro suit we're about to talk about, Timothy Seaman up in Tehachapi, Don Ricketts rising to be a vice principal with a trail of sexual assault and lewd and lascivious behavior behind him that you could follow it, without a hunting dog, you could chase this guy down. And yet he rises to the point of being a vice president or vice principal. It's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Go ahead and take a break. When we come back, we will get into the Del Oro situation. You will hear from the attorney representing the victim in this case. The staffer conceded that he had sex with a 15-year-old and that he was aware that, in fact, she was 15 years old. The real question now is the culpability of Del Oro High School. And that's where this thing has to change in terms of how we're dealing with sexual molestation. It's not enough just to catch the perpetrator, but now we've got to start examining those that are enabling them, those that are lending a blind eye. In the meantime, on this Thursday, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1, AM 1230. We're streaming live, KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Friday edition, play
Right
back after the big NFL draft. I'll be live from Washington, D.C. as D.C. prepares for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Trump will be the featured speaker at. It should be quite the scene. We'll have the HUD Secretary in studio with us and more. You won't want to miss it. Sitting you into the weekend. It's the Friday edition from Washington, D.C. of Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m., News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Luigi's is such a happy place. It's just been getting me through the week. I told you yesterday I'm headed there this weekend for lunch. and it's just getting me through the week. It's just such a happy place. The Valprado family welcome you like family. You know for a fact you're going to run into at least 1, 3, 5, 7 people that you know. And of course, you must be familiar with the staff because they've been there forever. The Valprados treat their staff like family, and those people don't want to go anywhere. And that's really the whole concept of the entire restaurant. The Valprados treat their people like family. Their people treat you like family. And it's just one of the most pleasant afternoons you're ever going to have. Where would you rather be? And as I always said, what about the restaurant can I tell you that you don't already know? What can I tell you about the food that you don't already know? I know that the Warehouse has been a game changer for the family, and I'm sure most of you have been to events there. And the Chateaubriand and the Saco beans, I mean, it's just incredible. It's Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Look up in the sky. Yeah, that's what they cry. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's them.
What up?
It's Paul Sheldon's team, that well-oiled machine of Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. Okay, not superpowers, but still thousands of hours deciphering Medicare's whims, fighting the good fight, learning what works right. Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. So it might seem old-fashioned, but hard work with passion most often gives you the win. And the trio that knows are those Medicare pros, Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. You know, actually to many, they are superheroes. Christine, Kelly, and Lynn.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name, Dan, to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look.
Miscellaneous facts and figures.
Sure.
That's not supposed to be up there. Why are you up there? Why am I looking at Katie Porter? Because I hit the wrong button. The bar tab of the 1787 farewell party for George Washington.
There's a bar tab?
Yeah, they had a party for George Washington in 1787.
Okay.
And what do you mean? They had bars. They kept the tab of the bar. This is what they drank that night. It's still intact somehow, the bar tab.
Interesting.
The founding fathers drank 54 bottles of Madeira, 60 bottles of claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 beers, and 7 bowls of alcoholic punch. There were only 55 attendants. Thank God they were only riding horses. I wonder, could you get in trouble for driving drunk on a horse? Just wondering. And another thing I found. These are must things you must do in Los Angeles.
Okay.
Top 10 must things you must do in Los Angeles, or suggestions or LA advice.
Okay.
So it caught my attention, obviously. It says LA is not walkable. You need a car. That is absolutely true.
5% true.
It's absolutely impossible. And the likelihood of you living within walking distance or bus distance from your job, highly unlikely. And the bus system is horrendous. It really is. The RTD is, I don't know about Metrolink. I've never done that. It's gotten a little better, but I wouldn't count on it. Traffic is real. Plan everything around it. Yep, that is very, very true. Nobody commuted more than Ralph Bailey in the 1970s. I commuted at one point from basically the airport to Sherman Oaks and then Palos Verdes to Brentwood. I was on the 405 more than any human being on the planet. And then even when I lived in Inglewood, I dated a girl who lived in Long Beach. And then I dated a girl who lived in Pasadena. I was Mr. Freeway. Nobody drove more on the free. And all my friends lived in the Valley. Scally lived in Sherman Oaks. Tempero lived in Northridge. Nobody was on the freeway more than Ralph Bailey. Hollywood Boulevard is fun once, then head elsewhere. Yeah, Hollywood is not fun. That is the biggest misconception about Los Angeles. That all these people from Iowa want to go see Hollywood, and then they're like, ugh, it's nasty, it's dirty, it smells like urine. Yeah, maybe go see the Walk of Fame and all that nonsense. But other than that, no, not really. Not really. Santa Monica is touristy, but worth sunset at least once. Santa Monica is the bomb. It's expensive as hell, but it is the bomb. Santa Monica might be the reason that the 32-year-old booted me. I ever tell that story when I told you the story about how Ben Stinson gave us some Dodger tickets. Ben hates when I tell the story. But by accident, it wasn't his fault. His sister had given the tickets away to a church group prior to, because you just have to give the code out now. You don't even have to physically have the tickets.
Right.
And so they had already given the tickets out, and we got to the gate and they turned us around. And we're like, okay. And I called Ben and said, oh, I'm sorry, Ralph. No big deal. It's not that big a deal. So we ended up going to Santa Monica. And I'm pretty sure this is why she booted me. Okay, so we get to Santa Monica. And a friend of mine at the time, the media whore, told me to go to this Irish pub. So we walk up and down Santa Monica. We can't find the Irish pub. So we go to this Italian restaurant, okay? The doctor calls me back and says, hey, this is where it is. We go up and down looking for it again. We can't find it. We go back to the Italian restaurant. And right as we're ordering, I just happen to ask the guy, where is this Irish pub? It's right across the street. We looked for it twice. It's right across the street from where we've been this whole time. So we're right about to order. So now she's starting to look at me like, I know what you're about to say. And don't say it. Come on, it's right across the street. Let's go. Sorry, dude. We're going to go across the street to the Irish pub. We go across the street to the Irish pub, and it's packed. It's a 50-minute wait. Now she's looking at me like, you do know when we get back to Bakersfield, I'm going to break up with you. So now we go back to the Italian restaurant, and that's where we had lunch. And to no one's surprise, we broke up 3 weeks later. But I got the last laugh though. I noticed that she got married. Big as a house. Big as a house. It's one of the few times where I was the lucky one in the breakup. Big as a house. Venice Beach is chaotic, cool for people watching, not relaxing. I love Venice Beach. Think of that Mexican restaurant that's got the tarp over it. If in case it's too cold, they throw the tarp, but it's kind of see-through tarp so you can still see the people going crazy. And just walking up and down Venice Beach, that is nuts. It is a sketchy little neighborhood, though. It really, really is. So be careful if you're ever going to Venice Beach. Griffith Observatory, best free sunset skyline view in the city. Griffith Observatory is one of the best draws in Los Angeles. And if you've never done it, it's worth going down there and taking your kids and just having lunch and coming back. It really, well, go at night too, where you go and sit in the observatory and you get to see the stars. And it's an absolute must if you've never done it. Best food is in strip malls. Don't judge, just try it. I told you guys this. Did I not tell you about, and we were talking about it's right by Venice Beach. It's kind of like Venice, Marina del Rey area. And it's a strip mall with a 76 station in it. I've told you this many times. And it's upstairs. And Kim and I used to hang out there when I used to hang out in Marina with my parents living at the City Club. And I've told you, I've been there 7 or 8 times. I've never been in that restaurant in a strip mall and not seen a big time celebrity. That's how good the food is. And it's in a little strip mall with a 76 station in the strip mall. And it's some of the best sushi in town. That's a very accurate cliche. Head in the back half of the hour, Kathy Abernathy joins us uncharacteristically to talk about last night's gubernatorial debate.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
The news. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Police say 1 person died and 5 more were wounded after a shooting inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Police have described it as a confrontation between 2 groups. Authorities had initially said as many as 10 people were injured, but the number was changed a few hours after the shooting. 5 people have been arrested. The National Transportation Safety Board says a firefighter whose truck collided with an Air Canada jet last month on a runway at New York's LaGuardia Airport, killing both pilots, heard an air traffic controller warn, "Stop, stop, stop," but didn't know who it was for. That's according to an investigative report released on Thursday. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points, the Nasdaq dropped 219, the S&P lower by 29. More details at SRNnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. A 15-year-old is under arrest in a sexual assault that happened last month in Southwest Bakersfield. Police are not giving much info about the assault, including the exact location. It happened March 23rd, and video surveillance was used to help witnesses ID the person responsible. Police say the 15-year-old is charged with sexual battery, false imprisonment, and assault to commit a felony. Del Oro High School and the Kern High School District are both being accused of negligence in a lawsuit brought by the victim of sexual abuse by a former band assistant named Salvador Fabian, who was arrested last year after an incident in the school parking lot. The suit says not enough was done to get a handle on the situation and that Fabian wasn't properly vetted. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we got the NFL draft. Apparently, that's a thing. We got more horrific details in the Zach Scribner situation. Our fun adventures in Iran. There's plenty of stuff going on there. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
So who won?
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And whatever comes our way.
Kathy Abernathy joins us on a Thursday to break down last night's gubernatorial debate. There'll be another. In fact, there are a couple scheduled. The big one on CNN May 7th, but there's another one in April, is there not?
In April?
Yeah.
I don't know, but there's one here in Bakersfield, May 9th, Saturday afternoon, the two Republicans.
Just the two Republicans.
Right.
Okay.
Kern County Young Republicans are putting it on.
Okay. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked it last night because I think the arguments were so clear between the two parties. If you put the two Republicans together, I don't know if they'll punch each other a
Yeah.
little bit more.
Yeah, they do not like each other. At least they didn't really go at it last night.
No, I thought Bianco, who I've said before, I'm not wild about someone who's managed in law enforcement where pretty much you give orders and that's the way it is.
Right.
Okay? It's not that way in the Capitol at all. And particularly if you're a Republican with a Democrat legislature. But I like Bianco's particular answer on homeless. He said it's not about homes. It's about putting these people into a treatment. Because these people on the street, it isn't that they don't have a home, it's that they need treatment.
Right.
And we need that said more because it's keeps defining it as a home for someone like that, somebody on the curb, somebody, whatever they're doing on the corners of the streets. That's not the solution. The solution is the mental health issue and getting them off of the drugs and the alcohol. So I liked hearing that from Bianco. I loved Hilton's answer to Katie Porter, who prided herself on being a tough grader, but she gave Newsom a B. He said, I wish I was in your class.
Yeah.
If you grade like that.
And some of them gave him an A. Are we talking about homelessness?
No, well, Katie Porter was giving Newsom, she gave him an A or a B. She gave him a B, I think, on homeless and that's when Hilton said, gee, I wish I'd been in your class in school.
Yeah. And
give him a B for that.
And Becerra gave him an A.
Yeah. He wants his endorsement, I guess. Overall, I think because you were, of course, really touting the benefit to Becerra to having Swalwell out of the race, I didn't see him make much of last night.
No, it was horrible. No, I didn't. I'm not a fan of Becerra.
No, but you were feeling that getting Swalwell out, that Becerra now had a better chance.
Well, yeah, he jumped from 3 to 13.
Yeah.
I mean, he went from being not even eligible for some of these debates to being amongst the leaders overnight. And I think the party is going to have buyer's remorse after last night, and I can't see him getting any better. I mean, he just looks stiff. He just doesn't look like he's comfortable doing it. And that's something you don't get better at, I don't think.
No, and he was weak on the Swalwell question.
Yeah.
So I got to have evidence, and I think plenty in that party did, but I don't think that was a smart answer, particularly from a liberal state like this has been in the legislature on, believe her and these different sayings they have. So I thought, I didn't hear him say anything other than silently, I hope Newsom endorses me. That's what I took. He was going to just parrot Newsom.
And the fact that it's still this late and there's still not an endorsement, I'm telling you, I know it's 2080, but I think we've got, a chance of getting those two on top.
The two Republicans?
Yes.
You still think so?
Yes.
Well,
the fact that the party itself is sending the message to the state, we don't know. We don't know any more than you do. And that's going to spread out the vote. And I hope you're right. I hope Porter does do well because that spreads it out even a little more. And I hope that I'm sad to see Betty Yee gone. But do you think people will vote Because I think what's going to happen is I think Tony Thurman will ultimately get out. I think Antonio Villaraigosa will ultimately get out before June. Do you think people will still vote for them, or are people engaged enough to know to move on?
What I don't understand is why didn't the Democrats who had this business on Swalwell, why didn't they do it before filing closed March 5th instead of after his name's on the ballot? Why didn't they do the same with Villaraigosa before March 5th, try to get him out? Maybe they did. You know, it's silly to wait till he's still on the ballot and then have people go in to vote.
Well, the state sheriff begged everybody 5% and below to get out. They all ignored him. And the crazy one is Yee, who waited like 3 weeks after he said that to get out. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's so kooky that it's kooky enough that we can get a Republican out of this thing.
We actually have just 2 strong Republicans instead of 6 mediocre.
Yes.
So we do have an interesting ballot in that regard. Now, one thing my friend Alberto brought up to me a little bit ago was, why wasn't high-speed rail questioned last night? Because if you want to talk about a disaster in this state and take all the, $14 billion spent since 2018, what was their answer to that? And $114 billion to finish it some year in not my lifetime. I think that would have been a great question, because that is such a financial boondoggle.
And it goes to show you the naivete of both candidates, Hilton and Bianco, because you're right. Every time their refrigerator light goes on, they should mention high-speed rail.
Yeah.
Every time they're on a podium, if they're going to church, they should mention high-speed rail. Every single time they're on the campaign. And somehow they could have engineered, because I'm sure Newsom's name came up, and they should have, you're right, they should have absolutely brought that up.
I would have taken the 118, supposedly, by whenever that is, it'll be 218 and 318 billion divided by the population of taxpayers in California or people. Send them a check. I don't care if it's $50, whatever it divides into. And that thing is such a crime. And they kept shooting at Trump. And yet on this issue, this is where Trump's right about California.
And the best line I heard was yesterday on the 5. I don't know if you watch the 5. They repeated
I do.
5 o'clock, where they said we spent more money to go to the moon than California spent on high-speed rail.
We spent less money?
Less money on going to the moon than we spent.
No, I didn't hear that.
Rail.
That should have been used too.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
Oh, I'm going to get that stat.
It's up 24%.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, people that voted for this, and as I recall, which was 2008, we voted for this.
Something like that.
Yeah. It was LA to San Francisco, and now it's San Francisco to Lodi, to Madera, to Bakersfield, to the big beautiful Bakersfield terminal they're going to build off of Golden State, to Lancaster, and going market to market. LA is the market. It should have been. A couple other things I thought. What do you think about the DMV and the licenses and all that they were talking about? They were trying to say whether or not California has a system that we are watching to make sure we're not letting drivers who can't read the signs and know what the carpool lane and all that. Should we push the DMV harder on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And wasn't that weren't we locally involved with that case? The illegal alien that killed the little girl?
Oh, well, that's Bianco brought up, that he met with the family of the little girl from Bakersfield. And it happened in Mojave.
Yeah.
That an illegal or non-English speaking illegal drove and hit, and she's paralyzed for life, and she's 8 years old. And we don't need 100 examples, because how many times, but by the grace of God, we passed that driver, that truck driver, and it could have been us, anybody. It's so tragic that it's even. Do you recall ever in your lifetime having that issue happen in this state, where the issue was, do we have not just car drivers, truck drivers with big rigs that can't read English signs or understand the system in this state if they're that new to driving these rigs? I don't know. These companies need to be investigated. And I know that's an issue that Manpreet, our councilwoman, is on the side of protecting the truck companies. But
Yeah, I thought Steyer's answer on that was absurd, where he got into like racial profiling, and they were like, "What are you
First
talking
answer out of
about?"
their mouth is racial. Well, Becerra did too.
Yeah.
He said it right off the bat. Well, we can't racial profile. Well, if we got an Irish guy, red hair, maybe he knows English. We can ask him if they want to ask. But if you have a sense of the people that don't know English in this state, particularly after 4 years of Biden opening the borders, there's Mideastern, there's Chinese, folks that have come in illegally. But yeah, can Chinese truck drivers read English signs when they're driving the big rigs or small rigs, cars like ours? Now, the first question was about the gas tax, and will you support cutting the gas tax or canceling the gas tax out? What I didn't like by those reporters is, let's be honest, they're trying to put on a mileage tax on top of the gas tax. And so if maybe they decide, well, we'll put a mileage tax on all of you, and then we'll cut the gas tax in half. I'm sorry, that doesn't cut it. That's still a boatload of money. And who does it punish? How many folks live in, San Bernardino, Riverside, drive to LA or Long Beach for work, 40, 50 miles a day each way, and it's probably the middle income, lower income folks. So I wanted to hear them say, and I guess Bianco and Hilton did, that no, we don't support the gas tax increase or should be cut, and we don't support the mileage. But I don't think anyone brought up that they're trying to put a mileage tax on us and on the electric cars because they're not buying gas. But, the same people that force the car manufacturers to give us better mileage are now trying to figure out, shoot, they're getting better mileage, so they're paying less gas, so we're getting less gas tax. So we got to punish them some other way. I just think that's sort of humorous, except that we're all going to be paying it. I think we'll be paying both. If this legislature stays as it is and with a Democrat governor, we'll probably be paying both a mileage tax every year. They'll take pictures of your car's odometer and gas tax.
I was surprised that they asked Katie Porter about her temperament and her staff, et cetera, et cetera.
She had a good answer.
Yeah.
The staffer stayed 4 years. I don't know if he got a big promotion, pay raise, but that made you think, okay, maybe, she worked it out, realized she shouldn't have been so hot-tempered. I kind of think she might have put an end to that being a big argument with her, unless someone wants to spend the money to put that video up. And I don't think they do.
Well, but it's not just, as it always is, it's not just that. It's never one event. Everybody snaps at some point. Everybody loses their temper, but then it's the tete-a-tete with the reporter, where she's like, I don't want this to be a bad experience. But so you won't answer the question? No, I don't want to answer but everybody else has answered this question. I mean, it's just...
It won't be a bad experience because I might scream at you.
Yeah.
That's what she was saying without saying it.
Yeah. I'm leaving. She's about to storm off. I mean, it's never... And then, of course, there's the famous, the husband story became common knowledge. Her throwing the mashed potatoes on the husband. I mean, that became almost as famous as Al Green and the grits. I mean, it's never just one event, particularly when it's specific to one part of your character. If it repeats itself, then that's the issue.
That becomes a big issue. How do you want to work with the legislature, even of your own party, if you're blowing up at them all the time? There were several good moments. And like I said, I think, of course, I agree with more of what Hilton and Bianco said, but I think they both came out pretty well last night. I think Steyer got hit a lot because they know he's got a limitless pocketbook, so they called him plenty of names. And if he did say, tax me more, and they said, why don't you just pay more? He didn't, I don't think he had a great answer to that.
No, he didn't.
But
I'm the billionaire who wants more. I'm the billionaire. That's not, every time he said that, I cringed. Alluding to yourself as a billionaire, that's not an attractive thing, particularly in a hard time in an economy.
Yeah, he either should say the struggle he went through and what he did with his brains, which is why I would compliment him. But I don't think, I think constantly repeating, we've had this one party rule in the state for 16, 18 years. Look what we got. It's 8 years Jerry Brown, 8 years Newsom and a legislature that's been Democrat since at least 2006. We're talking 20 years of no competition on issues and ideas. It just goes right through. So, and as I've mentioned before, there are so many Democrats in the legislature, 80-some%, that when it's a so-called tough vote, like if you think you have a future running statewide or you want to run for LA County Supervisor, you take a pass on the gas tax vote. You tell the speaker, hey, I can't vote on this because I might run. He says, oh, you don't have to vote. I got plenty of votes. So they sit there and not vote, collect per diem, collect their pay, but they don't vote on the tough stuff because there's so many to cover for them.
Yeah. Kathy Abernathy is our guest. I'll leave you with this. Your prediction came true, and the Commonwealth has done a mid-decade redistricting, and it's gone from 6-5 to 10-1, and now Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says we're locked and loaded. I mean, where does this thing end?
Well, I hope it ends, and I'm gonna get to Donald Trump one way or the other. I pulled up to the entrance to Mar-a-Lago. I'm gonna do it again and wait. Maybe he'll let me in. I want to show him the plan, which is when you draw districts, federal law honors city and county lines. The less you break them, the better your plan. Computers can do it like this, and we'll have competition because we have no competition right now, and we have to have that. But yeah, Virginia went from 10 seats that were drawn for Democrats. 6-5. 6-5 when it was fair because we had a Republican governor. To 10-1. 10 Democrat seats won in the entire state of Virginia, and it's drawn just like a claw. And then one Democrat seat's a perfect lobster.
Oh, I wrote it down for everybody. I showed it to him on screen yesterday. Yeah. Although mine looks more like a 76-year-old man, but that's beside the point. But yeah. I showed him the whole thing, and that's the Fairfax in Northern Virginia, and they just completely left out at the middle of the section of Virginia.
Well, we got some of those in California now, thanks to Prop 50, unfortunately.
And of course, your guy said it was rigged, but everybody else in the party said it was a win for us. As I pointed out yesterday, just a couple of months ago, Spanberger won by 15 points. This initiative lost by 3. So if we can do that well in the midterms,
the split. Democrats, it was a 3% yes vote.
Yeah, as opposed
that's pretty good.
As opposed to the Democrat beating Winnie Sears by 15.
Yeah, and
she was not. She turned out not to be a great candidate.
I wish they changed their rule there that a governor can run for re-election once. Instead, they make him quit and then come back.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it really is. But thank you, Kathy, for coming in. Sure. Kathy Abernathy, everybody. Quick time out. We'll read some text messages. Mike Turnipseed joins us at the top of the hour. Don't go anywhere. Yeah, I thought
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck after the big NFL draft. I'll be live from Washington, D.C. as D.C. prepares for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Trump will be the featured speaker at. It should be quite the scene. We'll have the HUD secretary in studio with us and more. You won't want to miss it. Sitting you into the weekend. It's the Friday edition from Washington, D.C. of Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Every Thursday at 4:30, Daniel Petrie lightens up the broadcast with his incredible wit, pure intelligence, political knowledge, and obviously an absolute master of economics. That's why he's such an important cog on this broadcast. And you can hear him even on some of his off days when there are financial movements that we can't explain. We lean on my man from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And of course, you know what they're all about. They're all about
what's happening. What happened? What do I do now?
At least 3 or 4 different people on to Messmaker Petrie Wealth Advisors, and they could not be happier. You could be happy as well with the situation in terms of the fourth quarter in your life. You call 395-9400, 395-9400, the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news,
Yeah, it's
fresh from
something about
those
Bill.
in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-7915. 800-505-7915. 800-505-7915.
Get ready for the 11th annual Mac and Cheese Fest, happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m. This year's event is going to be bigger and better than ever. Enjoy endless servings of mac and cheese, along with refreshing beers, spicy cocktails, and live music. Tickets are on sale now. For more information and to grab tickets, visit BakersfieldMacandCheeseFest.com. Happening Saturday, May 9th at the Kern County Fairgrounds from 2 to 6 p.m.
This event benefits the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House.
Trucordia, a new name but a trusted partner for Kern County businesses. At Trucordia, we provide business solutions that include comprehensive commercial insurance and proactive risk strategies to help protect your company and keep operations running smoothly. We also offer benefit solutions with flexible options for both businesses and individuals, supported by easy online tools and hands-on local service that makes everything simpler. For guidance you can count on, call Don Coons at 661-401-2280. Trucordia, building trust.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, live at 9 a.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Cause I'm having a good time, shooting star leaping through the sky.
Everybody's mad at me in the chat room because I don't remember the name of the sushi joint just outside of the marina on the border of Venice. They're the man that I can't remember the name.
Oh, so they're mad at you because you can't tell them where to go?
I told them to look for the 76 station.
That narrows it down.
It does. How many damn 76? It's got the big 76 ball. It's right around the corner from not the Chart House, from the Cheesecake Factory. It's right around the corner from the Cheesecake Factory on the far side. Is that Mindanao? I can't remember. It's Mindanao or anyway. It's a look for the 76. Okay, look up 76 stations in Marina Del Rey. How's that? How many 76 stations can there possibly be in Marina Del Rey? I bet there's only one. And if is it on Venice Boulevard?
That's okay. Well, I'm actually looking for the Cheesecake Factory first because I figured that would be the easiest way to go about this.
No, the easiest way is just find the 76 station. That's where.
There's multiple of those, most likely, though.
Not in the marina. Are you kidding? The marina's not that big. You've been to the marina? It's not that big. There's maybe two tops. But if you give me both addresses, I can tell you which one is the sushi joint. Because
there's only one here that says Lincoln Boulevard.
Lincoln and what?
It's just 4300 Lincoln Boulevard.
4300 Lincoln Boulevard. There you go. That's where it is. It's upstairs. The 76 station is there on Lincoln. It is Lincoln. That is exactly where it is. And it's a 2-level strip mall. And the sushi joint is upstairs. It's the only sushi joint in the strip mall. And I guarantee if you go to this joint, you will call the show and you will thank me. You'll say, Ralph, I hate your takes. I listen to the show because you're entertaining and you're really attractive, but I hate you. But now I love you because I went to the sushi joint. That's what you'll say. Just saying. Just saying. Right there on Lincoln. What's the address again? 4300?
4300 Lincoln, but I don't know. I'm looking around the place. I don't see any sushi joint.
Is it a mini mall?
Yeah, not really. I mean, it's more of a strip. I could see it being more of a strip mall or anything. It's across the street from a. Oh wait, you know what? Aha!
What's the name of the sushi joint?
Okay, so let's see. Union Bank. No. Oh, and I actually know exactly which one you're talking about. I think I've seen this one last time I was in the area.
What's it called?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to find it. There's no. I'm just looking at the name of the places. Juice Crafters? No, obviously not.
No.
That. There's a dentistry place.
No.
You said it was on the second story?
Yes. It's upstairs.
I'm not seeing a sushi joint. I'm seeing a massage parlor. It's a couple spas.
I think that's what it is. I think it's massage parlor / sushi joint.
There is an empty one or two up here, though, so it may not be.
Oh, there's no way it would have gone out of business. It was one of the hottest sushi joints. This is the 80s
Was
and
it
the
connected
90s.
to Marina Dentistry? Because it looks like Marina Dentistry has been there for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's probably out of business.
At least this is the strip mall location that I'm looking at that's across the street from the 76 station.
And that's the only 76 station in the marina?
Yes.
Yeah. So
That's what Google's telling me.
Sorry,
Google's
guys.
often wrong. So,
Well, I would go by 4300 Lincoln next time I was in LA just for giggles.
there is a strip mall there, and you'll probably find something. There's a burger joint around the corner from the strip mall, too.
This came up because we were reading some of the things you should do in LA, and it says you should try foods in strip malls in LA, and they really are good. It is amazing. The food in Los Angeles, period. I mean, some of the craziest joints have some of the best food in Los Angeles. It's crazy. I had a woman that sold tamales on the corner of Eucalyptus and Sentinel Boulevard.
Out of curiosity, was it at a Hawaiian barbecue place? There's a place here at the corner, looks super old, says LL Hawaiian's Barbecue.
Yeah. Okay. Quick timeout, headed into the fourth. Mike Turnipseed joins us next.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he won't be rushed to end the war as Iran negotiations drag on. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
The president said he's under no pressure to make a hasty agreement with Iran.
I don't want to rush it. I want to take my time. We have plenty of time. And I want to get a great deal. I want to get a deal where our nation and the world is safe.
He was pushing back against several reporters' questions about exceeding the 4 to 6 week timeline that he and his aides previously set for the war. If Iran doesn't agree to a war-ending deal, the president said the U.S. would finish it up militarily. Greg Clugston, Washington.
President Trump also says Israel and Lebanon have agreed to extend a ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah by 3 weeks after talks at the White House. Trump said the meeting Thursday between the Israeli and Lebanese ambassadors to the United States went very well. Wildfires continue to burn in southeast Georgia and northeast Florida, with some 50 homes already destroyed. Denise Stevens was among the wildfire evacuees who got a free meal and some rest at the Twin Rivers Baptist Church in Hortense, Georgia.
We had to evacuate due to the fire that's on Drury Lane. I don't know if I still have a house standing or not. And that's what drives me, I think, crazy more than anything, not knowing.
The fire has sent smoke drifting over several states in the southeast, leading to air quality warnings as far away as Columbia, South Carolina. Police say one person died and 5 more were wounded after a shooting inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Police have described it as a confrontation between 2 groups. 5 people have been arrested. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Kirk Cameron. Is health insurance eating up your budget for 2026? If you're looking for ways to better steward your finances, consider this: Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a health insurance alternative at half the cost. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. While insurance companies tell you when to join, what to pay, CHM is different. As a ministry, CHM allows you to share the burden of medical bills with other Christians. You can enroll, switch programs, or leave at any time. Christian Healthcare Ministries. It's a world of difference. CHM has 4 flexible programs. You can pick any certified doctor, surgeon, or hospital that you want for eligible care. So make the switch. Take your paycheck back from health insurance this year. Join CHM today by visiting chministries.org/wellness. That's chministries.org/wellness.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Why the county is opposing the sewer rate increase proposal in Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis. The city said rates need to go up for future growth. Kern County's attorney says it could be done better.
The county respectfully requests that the city consider spreading these costs over a longer period. It's something we call generational equity.
Claire Collins is an attorney that specializes in sewer rates, speaking at Wednesday's public hearing on the increase.
The county would like to be at the table. I do help entities across the state find affordable ways to finance these systems in order to spread these costs.
At the same city council meeting, Police Chief Greg Terry presented a report saying crime is down in Bakersfield over the last year by about 7.5%, but rape and sexual assault were reported to be down by 40%. He says that's because of changes in reporting made by the state legislature.
We've been having some issues with officers going into the field, doing appropriate investigations, good investigations, but not necessarily coding the crime exactly the right way.
Terry says adjustments are being worked on to make sure it's reported correctly and that prosecutions are still happening as they should. You will get to hear the candidates for governor speak on some of the issues that Californians feel are most important. 3 televised debates are planned before the June primary. You may have heard about the theft of a guitar that belonged to Buck Owens, one of those red, white, and blue ones, donated by the family to a nonprofit. Well, that guitar, which was stolen from a car Tuesday night, has already been returned, with the owners of Bakersfield Best Pawn Shop on 6th Avenue calling police when someone turned up to try and sell it there. The thieves have been arrested, and the guitar is continuing to be used to educate people about Owens and the Bakersfield sound. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest of all, we want from now is Hollywood Big Shot's going to give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm going to make them an offer again.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you. But I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Thursday, 23rd day of April. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, streaming live at KERNradio.com. And the Kern Radio studios are powered by Adaptive Networks. For all your IT needs, call Adaptive Networks at 661-241-0638 or hit them online at adaptive-net.com. Still lots to do on the program. Our money man, Daniel Petrie, will join us at the bottom of the hour. Coming up at 5, Jim Scoggins, one of the loyal volunteers that makes Honor Flight what it is here in Kern County, will join us. Honor Flight 53 returned last night. I hope you were among the hundreds that were out there supporting our veterans. But we'll talk to Jim and give you a preview of our September fundraiser, which we hope to fund the very next flight, which Jim will tell you all about. We're going to fund that entire thing. It's a special flight for a special group of veterans. And as we did the Native American flight, we footed the bill for that entire flight. I think it was 49 or 50. I think it was 50. And we raised $53,000 and supported the whole thing. That's what we're going to do this September for the Desert Storm guys that are going for their memorial that's being built as we speak. It'll be ready by I think they're going in October. They are. In the meantime, it's a
2 out of 3.
You're almost at 500 now.
We're working on it.
You're almost at 500.
Almost.
I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you. I want to see you guys.
Slow start, but came back.
Yeah.
They got swept the first series. They only scored like 1 run, and now they came back and won 2 out of 3. So progress is being made, Ralph.
Well, I'm hoping. I'm.
You're going the wrong way, Ralph. You're going the wrong way. They're going the up way.
Mike, don't you understand what happens when you win back-to-back championships? You don't care about April or May. It's September, October that we're looking forward to. We still have injury problems. We still have no Mookie Betts. We have no closer. We have several problems with the National League West. We're not concerned, Mike.
Did
We're not
Padres pass
concerned.
them?
I have no idea. I'm not concerned.
Padres passed. I think the Padres got ahead of them.
Let me explain this from a Dodger fan to a Giant fan. We don't look at the standings in April. You really think I wake up every day and look at the standings?
I thought you said it would be 162 and 0.
Well, now I'm saying 140 and 22. 140 and 22.
$20.
We're going to shatter.
$20.
We're going to shatter the Major League
$20 right now.
Baseball record.
For the whole radio audience,
We're going to
$20.
shatter the record and have more wins than any team, break the 116 mark apparently, and win 140 games in 22.
They will not win 140 games, Ralph. $20.
And Shohei Ohtani will win the Cy Young. He was unhittable last night and should have got a win, but our bats are worthless, including his. But he's going to screw around and win the. It's up to Skeens. We need Skeens to go on a bad little spin, but the Pirates are hitting is the problem.
Okay, Ralph.
So it's going to be Shohei and Skeens. I'll bet you that. Give me 2-1 odds, and I'll bet you $25 Shohei wins the Cy Young Award.
No.
25 to win 50.
That's not a. No, that's not
Predicting who's going to win the Cy Young is not a big deal.
This is a very quantifiable thing that you either win them or you lose them. Popularity contests and how people vote, that's another thing. I don't want to bet on a popularity contest.
For a guy that's going to get 500 at bats, you're scared of betting against
You said
a guy.
Cy Young.
I know, but he also gets 500 at bats.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like it's just any other pitcher. You're talking about a guy that does double duty, and you're so intimidated by the guy that you won't even bet that he won't win the Cy Young. That just goes to show you what a badass 17 is. Because there are 12 other guys that can win the Cy Young, but you're afraid of my guy.
How much was his contract for? How many hundreds of millions of dollars did he get?
That's better than winning the $20. Seeing you punk out.
Hey, I am very measured in how I make bets.
Because I was going to pull my hand back because I thought you were going to jump at that.
Nah.
That's a crazy bet on my part.
Nah, it's all media and how they write you up and what you do. It's all a media show.
Are you kidding me? He'd have to get at least 17 wins to even be in the discussion. Are you kidding?
I would hope it'd be 22 or 23.
No. Guys don't win 20 games anymore. Maybe 1 or 2 guys wins. That's why I said 17 to be in the discussion. The winner wins like 20, 21. You're thinking of when we were young, when guys were winning 25 and
27.
6 or 7 guys would win
Who
20
won 30 one year?
Denny McClain won
Denny
31
McClain.
games. 31 games.
Yep.
The 50s.
Well, that's in modern baseball, but go back to Walter Johnson. He pitched like 5 games a week in the old days.
It's crazy.
And
It's
now
crazy.
they can't pitch but every 5th or 6th
6
day.
innings, 6,
They got to
7.
take time off. It's a whole different world out
Yeah.
there.
Did you see the debate last night?
Yes, I did.
Your thoughts?
It was pretty predictable for me. I thought that now I can go through and just give you my opinion. I think that if I had to pick a person to govern the state, thinking who would be the best governor,
Betty Yee.
She's out.
I know that, but that's who's the best qualified, if you ask me.
Well, of the group in, probably on paper, you would say the best qualified is Becerra because he's been in government. He's had high positions. He's kept his nose clean, and he's generally considered an honest, trustworthy guy.
But I didn't know until last night he's a horrible candidate.
He's a very
low-key cat.
Low-key.
Well, that's not
that.
gonna
Well,
get it done.
I was getting that. He did not get you excited.
Exactly. Which means there's very little room for growth.
Well, he went 10 points in a week when the guy pulled out. So
But it
we'll
wasn't.
see.
But it was based solely on Swalwell. It wasn't based on any performance. But now there are a slew of debates coming up. There's this one. There's another one coming up, and then there's the big CNN debate in May.
We will see, Ralph.
And if he lays another egg, there's just no room for growth. Somebody's got to grow out of that pack. And to grow, you can't have it's like in a golf tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like on Saturday, if you're amongst the leaders, you can't shoot 72. That's a good score, but you'll get passed by everybody.
You get passed.
And if you have a C+ performance again in May, 2 or 3 of those, there are 4 or 5 people in contention. 2 or 3 of those people are gonna run by you.
Yes. I think what he said was more substantial than how he said it.
Right.
That's his problem. He's not a great orator.
No.
But
not
I
at all.
mean, he's had a career that you can see. If you wanted somebody to be sure that you kept the wheels on and stayed in the guardrails, he's that kind of guy.
And that answer on homelessness that he gave Newsom an A on homelessness. Oh, that's a Republican ad if I ever saw it, boy.
Could be.
Good Google it.
Well, so the next question. So you had Hilton and Bianco. So who did you think won that, Ralphie?
Kathy thought that Bianco won. I thought Hilton was better. I thought Hilton's answers were funny and to the point and shot to the kidneys.
Yes, but if you are the MAGA people out there, hey, here's a cowboy from Riverside, and at least he didn't wear his uniform out there like he's done
Yeah.
He showed up a lot of places wearing his official
Sheriff's
uniform.
uniform,
Was kind of I thought was very inappropriate, but I thought from a MAGA perspective, if you're in the MAGA, he's it. But I agree with you that Hilton would be a better governor than he would be. So again, it's where those paths go and how it. We'll watch the next poll.
And you got to get past MAGA because in the general, particularly if you're taking on Becerra, you've got to get some moderates. You've got to get some independents. By numbers, you just can't, preach to the choir. And it's looking like, unfortunately, it's going to be Becerra, the second candidate. I think, what do you think of my theory? That Hilton's a shoo-in, Bianca's a possibility, but it's likely going to be Becerra, Hilton.
As of today, I think that's it. I don't think it's going to be Steyer. I mean,
no, he's horrible. He's just he's propped up by his money. Period.
Yeah, he's a billionaire.
Yeah,
and he can do some things.
He spent more money than all of them combined. What do you think of Matt Mahan?
I liked him.
I
said that to start out. I said, if you want a governor who can govern, who's doing it and knows how he work. I got back and talked about him being as a weak mayor in a system in San Jose, and he's made some really big improvements. So that I confirmed kind of on the internet. Okay, what has he accomplished? What has he hasn't? And for not being a strong mayor, he has accomplished a lot in his term as mayor. So, but there was a lot to accomplish, and he needs to accomplish more. But the idea is he's working on a system because he's 1 vote of 11 on the council.
Right.
So yeah, it's a whole different system in San Jose. But
one of the most affluent cities in our state. You know that?
Well, yeah, because
I didn't know that.
It is the biggest city in Silicon Valley. It's got lots and lots of tech in it and lots of high-paying jobs. And one thing that happened because, you really looked at it, is San Jose State has really upped their game as a CSU. As tech came, they upgraded their game to keep up with the tech and provide it, because Stanford and Berkeley can't provide all the tech people that they really need.
Right.
And just reading on their tech side of the house, the computers, the engineering, that kind of thing, they really stepped up and done some things. And so,
okay.
And a new world order here, I don't know what that means for Bakersfield, but what our new world order is going to be, I don't see it being tech, but some conversations need to happen.
Yeah. I'll leave you with this. What's going on in town?
What's going on in town? Well, city council last night, we got a little lecture on the sewer, what's going on, and they had to delay till May. They rescheduled the meeting. This meeting was supposed to be the end of the vote, I thought, but they had extended the period because they had some filing issues. So the filing, it's actually out longer than they said it was going to be the required period, because they changed some data on the web page and it had to start the clock over again. So.
Okay.
So that's just what it is. But that's what happens when some people ask the right questions and you get some things done. And so they brought in their attorney, even the attorney, they brought the special Prop 218 attorney to get and he says, yeah, everything's fine except, I'm glad that issue got taken care of, because there was a couple of issues when they changed some of the information on the website. So
I haven't heard much about any of our local races. Am I wrong about that? Am I just not in the know?
Who's running?
Just the core race, the Valadale race, the
Core's they're having a debate in the
race.
chamber tomorrow. She and the Republican candidate are debating at this chamber. It's kind of a members only type thing. If you're a chamber member, you can go, and just to see how she does and how whoever the other guy is, he goes, and see that. I'm going to do that in the morning and see who does what. And the incumbent's just playing it kind of cool, and she's not showing up anywhere.
Who, Hurtado?
Hurtado.
And who are you talking about? Villegas? Is that
Villegas, right? Randy Villegas?
Yeah.
Yeah. He and Manpreet Kaur are debating. So should be interesting to see how they both do.
Yeah. Okay.
There should be some, hopefully, tough questions about solving problems, because it's a big jump. The city of Bakersfield is floating along here kind of with some issues that they haven't addressed yet. The council needs to step up and address some serious problems, and I don't see it necessarily happening in the conversation I'm hearing. So
don't even get me started. I don't even.
Well, I hear the music. I'm done, Ralph.
Yeah. Please don't even get me started. Mike Turnipseed, everybody. We'll take a quick time out. We'll check the board, see what you're talking about. Bottom of the hour, Daniel Petrie joins us, and then top of the hour, 5 o'clock. Talk with one of the most dedicated honor flight veterans, and I mean by veteran of honor flight, not veteran of the United States military. Jim Scroggins is going to join us, tell us about Honor Flight 53, the 168 total members, as I like to call them, returned last night. We'll hear about their trip. Man, talk a little baseball. The Dodgers finally got a win against the god-awful Stinky Smellies. And we are minutes away from the NFL draft, and the Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. In the meantime, you're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com. We better not screw up.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
If
First
I
Look
swear
with
to
Scott
God,
Cox, morning 6
if
to
they
9
don't draft
a.m.
that
On the
child,
Friday
I'll
edition
never
of the
watch
First
them
Look
again.
program, we got the
Come
NFL
on.
draft. Apparently, that's a thing. We got more horrific details in the Zach Scribner situation. Our fun adventures in Iran. There's plenty of stuff going on there.
Swear to God.
We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk
If they don't draft
96.1 and AM 1230
I'll never watch them
KERN.
again.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks business owners. How many times have you called your IT company and felt like just another ticket number? Well, at Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just the promise, it's how they do business every single day. And nobody knows that better than the folks here at American General Media, because they are a client of ours and we are a client of theirs. IT is incredibly important for a radio station.
It's going to be the
you can't depend on
linebacker.
somebody saying,
It's
well,
gonna be
we'll
the
be out there
linebacker
tomorrow,
from,
because
Ohio
all you
State.
hear is nothing. So it's do or die for us. That's why we depend on Adaptive Networks. And when you call, you'll actually talk to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problems. No phone trees, no run around, no attitude. That's what Adaptive Networks are all about. Call today at 661-241-0638. That's 241-0638. Join the IT network that American General Media uses every day.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us.
I don't think
no
he
one
goes
can
any-
touch us.
I don't
You
think he gets
won't
any
find
lower than
better
5.
prices.
Yeah.
Shop and compare. We don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every
Why
day
not?
is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus is
Thunder and
celebrating
lightning.
30 years in business by offering you no interest financing for 12
Yeah.
months. Head over to carpetoutletplus.com to apply now. You can get new waterproof flooring and comfy carpet in the bedrooms, all from one trusted place. Over 70,000 customers can't be wrong. It's probably been time to change your floors for a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus.
Gotta do that.
Every day is sale day.
You see the light come on, it's flashing at you, check your mileage, and yes, it's time for an
Shot
oil
89
change. Don't wait
Sunday
until your
with,
engine
Swain.
begs for help. Head to Kern Oil Change.
been an
Fast,
85,
friendly, and
84.
affordable service that keeps your car running smooth. No
birdie
appointment
on a
needed.
hole.
Just
I made
roll
a
in,
birdie
roll out,
from
and
190.
drive with confidence. Plus, get free fluid top-off with every oil change. Kern Oil Change has 2 locations to serve you. 3706 Coffee Road and 5651 Auburn Street. Kern Oil Change is open 7 days a week. Get in, get out, get on with your day. Follow us on Instagram for additional savings.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9 a.m. on First Look with Scott Cox.
I was going to go birdie.
ERN, what do you got on the board?
Corbin Burns' record was 11-5 the year he won the Cy Young Award.
Say what?
Corbin went 11-5 when he won the Cy Young.
Are you serious?
I mean, Paul Skeens was 10-10 last year.
That's just crazy.
Well, Skeens won more because of the ERA, because it was a sub-2.
That's still just 20 decisions. Reminds me, I pulled up the record of Josh Gibson. who is arguably the greatest hitter who ever lived. He was part of the Negro Leagues. Do you want to hear what Josh Gibson did in his career? His career batting average was .372. His career slugging percentage was .718. That's number one all time. He had, in one season in 1943, he had .466. He had .466. He had 9 home run titles, 2 consecutive triple crowns, but he never got invited up to the major leagues because he had some mental issues, had some drinking issues, and they were looking for quality guys at that point, and Josh just wasn't one of them. He should have been the first guy. Had he had the mentality of a Jackie Robinson, he would have been the first to enter baseball. Who you got?
Jordan, real quick.
Jordan, what's really going on, Pop?
What's happening?
What's going on?
Are they going with the quarterback at 1?
Are you kidding me? The Chris and Randy are telling me that Brady and Davis have already given him a playbook.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I was wondering what they jump back like 4 spots and trade out and get more out of it.
I just told Mike Turnipseed that if they do this, I'll never watch them again. Never. I'm serious. I will divorce myself.
Kirk James?
No, I will divorce myself and become a, I don't know, I'll pick somebody, but no.
The kid start?
No, I don't think so. We'll see. I hope he starts because that means he's lit it up during training camp, to be honest with you. But it wouldn't kill me to see him start game 5 or 6.
Right on.
You know?
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe even next season.
Well, if they do trade out, it'll shake the whole thing up. That's for sure.
That ain't happening. That ain't happening, Jordan. I know you got your fingers crossed, but that ain't happening. All right, Pop. Always good to hear from you.
All right.
We are off to 21st and Oak. We're talking the economy with Daniel Petrie.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump has ordered the U.S. military to shoot and kill small Iranian boats, deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz, he said Thursday, a day after Iran again displayed its ability to thwart traffic through the channel. Police say 1 person died and 5 more were wounded after a shooting inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Police have described it as a confrontation between 2 groups. Authorities had initially said as many as 10 people were injured, but the number was changed a few hours after the shooting. 5 people have been arrested, more are being sought. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points. The Nasdaq dropped 219. The S&P 500 lower by 29. Oil at around $96 a barrel. This is SRN News.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. Opposing the proposed sewer rate increase in Bakersfield, an attorney who specializes in sewer rates representing Kern County says the county opposes that increase as it is planned, asking for a longer period to eventually reach the $875 per year rate.
The proposed rate will increase sewer charges by nearly 400% over 5 years.
At Wednesday's public hearing, crime is down about 7.5% in Bakersfield over the past year, says Police Chief Greg Terry, presenting a report at Wednesday's City Council meeting. He says police response times are also good, but improving those is difficult for now.
It would be very difficult to make meaningful progress without some significant or additional, certainly, resources.
I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold. And I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th. So text my name Dan to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck after the big NFL draft. I'll be live from Washington, D.C. as D.C. prepares for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Trump will be the featured speaker at. It should be quite the scene. We'll have the HUD secretary in studio with us and more. You won't want to miss it. Sitting you into the weekend. It's the Friday edition from Washington, D.C. of Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Time to talk money with folks at Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors, specifically Daniel Petrie. How are you, sir?
I am doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm outstanding.
Oh, good.
I'm getting the bump removed from my head in 2 weeks.
The bump? You have a name for the bump.
The only thing I've referenced it is the unicorn is the only thing I've referenced. This thing right here for those that are watching on
what is that? A type of lymphoma or?
No, it's like a cyst.
Okay.
Like a sebaceous cyst, I think, or so, I don't know. You want to hear the most disgusting thing that the nurse told me?
Oh, okay.
That it's like a little piece of whatever, and there's a stitch, and they yank it out, and some people keep it.
Oh, people are whack.
That's what I said. Are you serious?
Yeah.
And she was she's like, more people than you would think.
Oh.
Like, why in the world? Like, I want to see it just to see what it looks like.
Right.
But it ain't leaving that office, I'll tell you that.
If they took a bullet out of me or something, that'd be like, oh, look at that,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why.
I just want to
see that thing.
Oh, I want to see it. I just want to see what it is. Just, because it's like I've been telling people, if you look through my pictures, you can see it growing. Back in the years.
You're talking to a guy who would get queasy at junior high first aid film. I mean, I would be like, teacher, and I would never leave class. Can I get a drink? And I'd be, luckily I wouldn't fall down and pass out in the hallway. I just didn't, I don't do that very well. I'm like, knock me out, give me the best drug possible. Don't show me what you've done. I don't even want to hear about it. Just
so I'm
I'm
assuming you've never seen the beginning of an operation.
Listen, I try to annoy the heck out of a doctor so they give me extra medication because
not on
Oh,
yourself. I mean,
okay.
obviously you've never seen them operating on yourself. I hope you haven't seen them operating on yourself.
I'd probably pass out worse if it was somebody else.
Oh, I tried to go in and watch from an observatory spot an operation, and that was the biggest mistake I ever made. I literally did not make it past the first incision.
Oh.
Like when they cut into his chest, I was done. I was absolutely done. Because I mean, they literally just cut into you.
Oh yeah, that's
it's just
you're not supposed to. This is I would never. I don't even know if I had the brains to be a doctor, but I could never do it because I'm like, I can't even trim your fingernail. I don't want to hurt.
The thing that I can't imagine viewing is the rib spreader.
Oh.
When they really crank open your ribs to get at your heart.
Yeah, they got to dig deeper. So, we're not there yet. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I have no idea how they do that. But what do you?
I don't feel good just thinking about it.
Yeah, makes me queasy. I'll tell you that, boy. I'm just. Ugh.
Is that weird? Why are people? Couldn't. It took me a while to figure out what was happening to me because I'm like, I don't feel good. What? And then I thought, well, it had to be this first aid movie they're showing me. But I'm like, why would that do it? I'm like, I'm going down.
For some people, it's the sight of blood.
Well, I think it was blood that I didn't. I mean, sometimes I can handle it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, blood doesn't really interact. Have you ever really seen somebody bleed, though?
Not like where their arteries hit and it's pulsating or something.
Yeah. Most people have never seen anybody. I've told the story. When I was working at the Sentinel, I walked up on a murder where a kid had been shot 2 or 3 times in the chest, and you have no idea. You just have no imagination about how much the body desanguinates and how quickly.
Yes, and you don't have much time before that's too much blood loss.
Yeah. I mean, this kid, he was wearing a plaid shirt, and the only way I knew he was wearing a plaid shirt was by his sleeves, because you could not tell what color the shirt was on his torso. There was so much blood.
Yeah, yeah. We need a break. 15 minutes.
Pretty grisly. People just starting their dinner.
I don't do that very well. Odd.
Yeah, it's 4:39. The older members of our audience are just beginning the early bird special, so they're not happy with us. What's going on with the economy?
Yeah. Hey, I got a different. The economy, I think, we're on the verge of some problems occurring with this oil issue if we don't. Not necessarily us so much, but some of these countries, give it a couple more weeks and they're going to be shutting things down. So
yeah. Who is getting hurt by this? Is China and Russia getting hurt by this?
Well, even though China imports a lot from Iran, I think China has quite a bit of reserves.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I think Europe is more vulnerable than because they don't. Not that they import a ton from there, but they don't have a lot, just hanging around.
Yeah.
It's going to be. I mean, we've seen some bits of it because of the price of oil, but there are other things too. I mean, fertilizer, and there's a lot of. We got to get this wrapped up, and I applaud the blockade. I think that's a better strategy than just continuing to bomb cement.
Yeah.
What happens? Maybe they'll play hardball again. I don't know. We're not in the room. We don't even know. I don't even know if the people they're dealing with have the power to enforce what they agree to. But
that's the crazy thing, that there's no plan. It's all, even if there was a plan, which there was not, but let's concede there was a plan. Well, now that's all gone to hell, and we don't even know who we're dealing with. I mean, it's just, I'm scared. I am very afraid.
Yeah,
I really am.
I don't blame. It's hard because I hate to be a pessimist.
Right.
It's not my nature, but you have to worry about, the ramifications of things, especially in my business, when obviously this affects the financial markets greatly, or will, the longer it goes.
And I don't think Trump wants to annihilate the Iranians. I don't think he wants to bomb.
I think that would.
But he has talked himself into a corner where inevitably he's going to have to pull the trigger.
Right. Or it'll be more Trump always chickens out.
Yes. And his pride will make him do what he's claimed to do, even though he doesn't want to do it. because they're not. I've been presenting it as a question all week, but I'm done with that. I'm making a statement now. They are not handing over their uranium, as the president has stated, and thinks is part of the negotiations.
Okay, so
that ain't
let's-
happening.
Let's say that's true. We obviously the blockade will continue. We start bombing them more. You start having more civilian fatalities.
And then it's lights out. Then it's all over. Then it's all over.
What do you mean by all over?
There's no way you could pull it out as a victory.
Okay.
Once
Yeah, I
that
see.
starts.
Yeah.
Once
I
that
agree.
starts.
I mean, your good options are limited.
Yeah.
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 You're
Once
even if you win, you lose.
exactly. That even if they'll say you should have gone at it differently.
You killed people.
You killed people.
Innocent people, women and children,
Mhm.
and you've hurt the people. You were trying to help the people. I thought.
Yeah.
It's too many bad scenarios.
The only thing that has kept this epic fury alive is the low body count.
Yeah.
And it's still at 67% disapproval.
I am hoping that the pain other countries are experiencing will get them motivated to help or find a solution, or because if it were more than just us in Israel, maybe the world wouldn't view it so badly.
I think Trump has angered so many leaders that they just don't want any part of it.
Well, yeah, I can
and they can't afford to. Keir Starker certainly can't get involved because he's on his way out anyway. They're about to sack his behind over this Mendelsohn nonsense, this Epstein stuff. So he's in no position to take a war deal. And the thing that I finally figured out is because no president wants to be a war president.
No.
But I don't think Trump realized that when you become a war president, and this is why no president wants to be a war president, it dominates your entire administration.
Yeah.
And Trump thought after Venezuela, he'd sweep in, we'd do this in a couple of weeks, they'd give in, he'd be the hero. But nope, every single war president, the war dominates your administration.
Especially if you campaigned about stopping them.
Exactly.
It makes it a little even worse.
Yeah,
But-
and it's going to destroy the party. It's
Well,
absolutely going to destroy the party.
As an optimist, I'm still praying he gets lucky.
He might. He just might. But that's what it's going to take. A whole lot of luck, boy.
Well, hopefully we get it.
Yeah.
The alternative sounds bad. I didn't get to. I was listening to you in Turnip Seed, and
Yeah.
I got a phone call, so I had to turn it off because I was curious about the debate last night. What did Turnip Seed think?
I think we talked about it with Kathy as well. I think there was a consensus that Xavier Becerra, who got the biggest jump when Eric Swalwell jumped out, is not a very good candidate. I think Katie Porter is done.
Yeah.
Steve Hilton is still strong. Bianco had a great performance, I thought.
I thought Bianco did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was curious.
He was
more
strong.
Curious about him than anybody.
Yeah, he was
And,
strong.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't make me go. Oh, less curious. He
Yeah.
didn't make me go away from him. I guess.
I have not given up on the chance that the two of them could be the top vote
It's
getters.
possible. Steyer did not impress me.
Nope, not one bit. Not one bit.
I wasn't super impressed as a whole group. As a group,
And Steyer's tone deaf. Really bad time to call yourself a billionaire repeatedly in this kind of economy.
I thought he looked bad.
He did look bad.
Like his color was off or
Mhm.
something. He looked a little gray. I
Yep.
don't know
Yep.
if it's true, but that was my. I'm like, why did?
No, I agree.
Oh.
I agree.
And that's it's not so much of that is perception, feeling, and when it's not right, it's easy to look somewhere else.
Yeah, especially and this. I don't think there's ever been a more important series of debates because I don't think ever. I would love to do the research, but I'd be willing to bet we haven't had a gubernatorial race at this juncture, months before the primary and months before the general election, where a quarter of the state is undecided.
Wow. Yeah,
that's crazy. It's like 24% are still undecided. That's crazy.
That's why I don't.
And as long as it goes out kind of evenly, the two Republicans have a shot. But I think inevitably they're going to focus on one cat, are the Democrats, and that's who Steve Hilton or Chad Bianco will have to go up against.
Yeah, and then we're probably in trouble.
Yeah, we probably are.
I mean, not for people like you and I, but
yeah.
Hey,
let's check the deficit. Running out of time.
Sorry, it is so much a country of you're either with us or against us.
Oh, it's two Americas.
And if you're against us, it's not like I can't. You're over. It's done. I want nothing to do with you.
There are two Americas.
And it's sad.
It is very sad, and it's not good for our democracy.
No, it's terrible. The gerrymandering, I think, is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand some, but when you take a 50-50 state and make it a 90-10 either way, that's not right.
No, they've ruined Virginia,
Yeah.
and all to get that 4-vote advantage in the House. That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about.
The debt did go up.
Let me guess, $29 billion.
A little bit over. We're at 39,150, approaching 39,156. 39 trillion, 156 billion.
Wow.
We'll be there.
And gold and silver?
We'll be at 40. They were down a little bit. I think gold is down a little over 2%, sitting just under 4,700. Silver's floating around 75, 70-ish. Silver was down 4%.
What is the chemical abbreviation for silver? I know gold is AU.
Isn't it AG?
Silver is AG?
Is it not AG?
I don't know. Hey Siri, what is the chemical element for silver?
The chemical element for silver is Ag.
You're right, AG. Nice call.
Ah,
nice call.
I thought I was right, but I wasn't sure.
Nice call. I would have never
doubted myself. Yeah. Thank you. I came through again. Thanks,
Nicely
Ralph, for
done.
giving me a plug.
Nicely done. Nicely done.
Little bloop double there.
That was a double up against the alley. That was
Ooh,
nice.
not a bloop. Up
Nice.
against
No.
the
That was the line drive.
In the markets, I'm shocked how well they're holding up with the whole more truce, more days of truce.
Chaos. Yeah.
Talks are off, talks are on. Futures are mixed. Nothing earth-shattering overnight. S&P has been a little bit volatile lately, but we're still up a little under 3.8% for the year.
Which goes to show that there are a lot of smart people that think that this thing is going to be over soon, one way or the other.
I think that's the lucky bet we talked about earlier.
And I think, you know what I think they're betting on? I think they're betting on Trump just claiming victory and getting the Sam Hill out.
That's possible.
Yeah.
That's very possible. And you could tell him he lost all day long, but
he'll claim victory.
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
and
that's
big
the Trump
money,
way.
Big money usually knows. So
yeah. All right, sir. Always great to talk to you. Have a wonderful. Where are your Celtics right now? Where is that series?
We're
1-1.
We had a woeful
What?
shooting night. Yeah, we had a woeful shooting night. Was that last night or the night before?
The night before. Yeah, it was the night before.
Yeah, we couldn't make a three, and that doesn't help. And
the East is going to be interesting. I told you Detroit was going to get back in there, Chris. Did I not?
Yeah.
Orlando is completely overrated. Detroit is going to win that series.
Yeah,
it's going to be. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The East is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah, it is. All right, sir. Have a wonderful weekend.
You as well, Ralph. Always good to be seen on the radio.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
Daniel Petrie. Give him a call at 395-9400, 395-9400. His office is on the corner of 21st and Oak. We have to step aside, come right back. We'll check the board, get into the 5 o'clock hour, talk how to flight. Tim Scoggins is back. He was one of the big members of Honor Flight. He's been doing it for years. Goes on just about every Honor Flight. I'll tell you about Honor Flight 53, and we'll preview Honor Flight 54 coming up in October. And I'm talking a little sports. The Las Vegas Raiders are on the clock. And it's a mere formality. But the number 2 pick will be interesting. That'll break down somewhere in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll try to go live to, don't tell me, Nashville last year. This year it is, I know this, Pittsburgh. You're in Pittsburgh, PA. We'll take you to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania in the 5 o'clock hour. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230, streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk
Pittsburgh,
96.1,
right?
and
Pittsburgh, right?
It is in Pittsburgh, yes. It's also Big Mike.
All right.
Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we got the NFL draft. Apparently, that's a thing. We got more horrific details in the Zach Scribner situation. Our fun adventures in Iran. There's plenty of stuff going on there. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
If you went out and bought a foot-long sandwich and a bunch of chips and a bunch of drinks for tonight's draft, because you're going to have a bunch of folks over to the house, you've made the mistake of a lifetime. Because what you should have done is picked up the phone and called 393-5507, 393-5507, and spoke to one of my best friends, Mike Arier, and Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue, because Mike does events like folks just coming to the house to watch the draft, or whatever kind of celebration, a birthday party. I know graduations are coming up. The temperature is changing. Golf tournaments are going to be going on. It does not matter. For 25 years, Mike Arier has been leading Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue and just been killing it. As I've talked about, he's big on quality of meat. He's an outstanding cook. He's got a great crew. He comes with a rig. They do the cooking, the cleaning, the serving. All you have to do is pick up the phone and call Mike today at 393-5507. That's 393-5507. Big Mike's Ragin' Barbecue.
Most people don't want more financial information. They want clarity. They want to know they're making the right moves and that someone's actually paying attention. That's what we do at MoneyWise. We help you organize your financial life, plan for what's ahead, and make decisions with confidence, whether retirement is around the corner or still years away. And now you'll find us in a new place, the historic Woolworths building, right in the heart of downtown Bakersfield. A piece of local history reimagined for what's next. MoneyWise, thoughtful planning, real conversations. Visit MoneyWiseGuys.com to get started.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA, SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through FPL Financial. FPL Financial and MoneyWise Wealth Management are independently owned and operated.
Last week, there was a Paul Sheldon sighting. Kind of rare and very exciting. Everyone asking, where has he been? Of course, his clients weren't worried about their Medicare, even when Paul in person wasn't there, because there's Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. The grandkids like to play, where's Waldo? Granddad's asking, hey, where'd Paul go? Just games that are fun to win. But when push comes to shove and the day is done, we know it's covered, so it's all in fun. Because there's Christine, Kelly, and Lynn. Over the years, so many have said it, the guy's a genius. Gotta give the man credit. He put it together way back then. Brought along those 3 Medicare pros, who of course by now everyone knows are Christine, Kelly, and Lynn.
When Medicare matters, our team has the answers. Team Paul Sheldon.
398-2298.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton live at 9 a.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230
KERN. Jim Scroggins joined us right after the break. In the meantime, what do you got?
Ralph, if California elects another Democrat governor, it is lights out for the Golden State. No Dem on the stage last night will do anything different than the status quo. The only hope is a Republican.
I agree. And our only hope is to get them both on the general ballot, Bianco and Hilton. That's why I keep pounding the cage and telling you all it's not enough just to vote. It really isn't. You got to get out. You got to make sure that your neighbors are voting, your relatives are voting. You need to check with the elderly. You know, if you've got a grandmother or a mother who's elderly, hey, mom, let me take you to the voting booth and let me get your mail-in ballot ready for you. Let me help you out. I mean, we've really got to pound the cage because, I mean, we've got a unique opportunity. We're never, ever, 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 in at least probably my lifetime, going to have as close an opportunity to get a Republican and state governor. And don't listen to Kathy. Yeah, it's a one-party state, but we have the veto bill, and maybe we can sucker some moderate Democrats to not override vetoes. But regardless, you make a lot of appointments as the governor, and it just would send a message that finally Californians are sick and tired of being sick and tired. That this state is run miserably. We'll talk about Honor Flight when we come back. Don't go anywhere.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
I'm doing it again tonight.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. At least one person was killed and 5 others were injured in a shooting at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge on Thursday. The shooting appears to have occurred after 2 groups of people got into an argument in the food court. Chuck Spicer, president of Our Lady of the Lake Health, says despite their best efforts, 1 person died after that shooting.
This afternoon at 1:30, we found out about the shooting, and we did what we're here to do, which is to be there for people that need us in a situation none of us want to be in. But we were there. We treated 5 victims. Unfortunately, we lost 1. The other 4 are in stable condition.
Police said 5 people are in custody, but they were still searching for others who may have been involved in the shooting. Wildfires are still burning out of control in the southeastern part of the United States. Georgia wildfire evacuee Brianna Elliott says she wishes she'd known a fast-growing wildfire was sweeping toward her home.
They said most of Brushy Creek was burned to the ground.
That's where you live?
Yeah, that's where I live. And we haven't even been there renting there for a year. And I'm 20, my fiance is 23. And it's just hard to imagine that, you know, everything we've worked so hard for, living paycheck to paycheck, it's just gone without notice.
In southeast Georgia, some 50 homes were destroyed. In northeast Florida, evacuations were ordered and many schools were closed. President Trump has ordered the U.S. military to shoot and kill small Iranian boats that deploy mines in the Strait of Hormuz, he said Thursday, a day after Iran again displayed its ability to thwart traffic through the channel. On Wall Street, the Dow down by 179 points, the Nasdaq dropped 219, the S&P 500 lower by 29. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's something most people don't know. When Warren Buffett was just 13 years old, he didn't put his money into a savings account while other kids were earning next to nothing at local banks. Buffett put $114 into a little-known investment. Today, that $114 would be worth over $15 million. And it wasn't a risky trade. It wasn't insider knowledge. It was an account that's been around since 1888. And over the last 25 years, it's averaged 29% a year. That's what happens when your money is allowed to compound. Compare that to today's savings account, paying less than 0.5%, while inflation quietly eats away at your buying power. Buffett understood early. Banks are great businesses, just not for savers. If you'd like to see what some investors call the 29% account, go now to ask29account.com.
Hey,
That's ask29account.com. Ask29account.com.
Ow! From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
Forget about it.
On the proposed sewer rate increase in Bakersfield, I'm Chris Davis.
Residents need support if this rate goes forward. And so that's why we're asking that you establish a low-income rate assistance program.
He's Eric Oriana, representing Leadership Council at the public hearing Wednesday on the sewer rate increase that has been proposed and would eventually take it up to $875 per year.
There are people in this community that are on fixed incomes that we've spoken to.
What's going on, man?
How communicated how much of an impact this would have.
Kern County also sent an attorney to oppose the plan, saying it should be spread out over a longer period. Crime in Bakersfield.
Crime overall was a reduction, reduced by 7.5%. Just about every category of crime there saw a reduction, with the exception of homicide.
There was a lot going on in
Police
DC
Chief
while
Greg
you were
Terry
there.
explaining why some crimes are down over the past year. He says the crime of
Even
rape
today,
and sexual
yesterday,
assault
when you
is
were in the
down
rotunda and
40%.
everything?
But that is not a totally accurate number because of changes in the way that crime is being reported. The California Living Museum is asking for you to pay for some of their efforts to take care of animals and expand, and they want to do that with a sales tax increase of about 1/8 of a cent.
Because I saw Mike
To
Johnson
get that
being
done,
walking
they
through the
have to get it on the
rotunda, and I
ballot
was
for
like,
November,
the
and
guy's
they are
probably
about 1,500
came in
signatures
contact
shy of
with
their goal of 30,000 signatures on a petition to get it on the ballot, with a week left to get that done. One of Buck Owens' red, white, and blue guitars was stolen Tuesday from the car of a representative of a nonprofit that has been showing the
both were there
guitar
at the house?
and using it in a documentary. Bakersfield Now reports that she and her husband went to pawn shops to look for it, and when someone came in to pawn
That's
it
one of
at
the highlights of the whole
Bakersfield Best
trip.
Pawn Shop on 6th
That's one of the
Avenue,
highlights of the
the
whole
owners
trip.
called the cops and the thieves were arrested. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom
a
with
lot of
news
people
every
say
half
they
hour
sat
and when
in
it
the
breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Welcome to the rest well in a month from now. This Hollywood's Big Shot's gonna give you what you want. Too late. They start shooting in a week. I'm gonna make him an offer, Cameron.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Thursday, 23rd day of April. It's the Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com. Still lots to do in the final hour. Is it official?
No, they haven't started yet.
They have not. Can we cut in and get the audio? We can't?
Cannot, no.
Why?
I have no stream for it.
We can't eavesdrop on ESPN for 12 seconds.
There's no stream. Where do you want me to pull it from?
The television.
Have we ever been able to pull audio off the TV?
But for 12-second intervals?
That's not what I mean. I literally can't pull the audio off the television. It doesn't work that way.
Right. Well, it's just a matter of, formalities. The Raiders are definitely taking Mr. Mendoza.
110%, yes.
And as I've stated, if they don't, I will never, ever, ever, ever watch a Raider game as long as I have freckles on my face.
It'll be fine. Trust me. Everything is going to work out.
Okay. All right.
The boy will be there soon.
We'll update you throughout the half hour. And as I mentioned, the Dodgers got to win this afternoon. Only 1 out of 3 against the god-awful Stinky Smellies. But another great pitching performance out of Tyler Glasnow. Talk a little bit about that. And I've got some other miscellaneous news and notes that I can't even read on my notes, but we'll get to it. But in the meantime, as we've been talking about all week, Honor Flight 53 took off on Monday. And I hope you know they returned last night because you were out at Meadows Field cheering them back on. And as those of you who are viewing on YouTube can see, one of the tour leaders, Jim Scroggins, is live in studio with us. Jim, thanks so much for coming in. I know you must be exhausted.
A little tired. Definitely a little
yeah.
tired, but it was the kind of tired that just makes you really happy. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Tell them what a tour leader is.
So tour leader is the guy that once the tour starts, he's in charge of he's responsible for everything. not in charge of everything because it takes a lot of volunteers to get stuff done.
Yeah.
But I make sure that we hit all of our spots on time. We get to Arlington on time. We get on the plane on time.
Yeah.
All of those things. So it's just staying on the itinerary, keeping people together, handling problems, all those things. The normal things that somebody managing a major project would do.
168 folks total.
I think we actually ended up with in excess of 180.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had 101 veterans total, 1 Korea War veteran, 15 Cold War veterans. We call Cold War between Korea and Vietnam.
Right.
And then the balance, 88 or so, were Vietnam veterans.
Mhm.
So it was awesome.
Yeah.
Really great.
Walk us through it. I've kind of walked it through them, having gone 7 times. How many times have you been on this trip?
You know, I kind of lost a little bit of count, but we're estimating it's either 18 or 19 was this time. Yeah, yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, every one of them is so gratifying too.
And they're all different, aren't they? I mean, they're all actually, it's weird because they're exactly the same. We almost stay in almost the exact same hotel. We stay in about 2 or maybe 3 different hotels, but it's always about the same. And everything, the itinerary, everything is the same. And yet every trip is radically different.
Yeah, they all take on their own personality.
Yeah.
You know, some of them are even blessed with Ralph Bailey, which is pretty awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
But yeah, they all take on their own sort of personalities. You know, the ebbs and flows of the trip. They're uniquely different each time, but the goal every time is the same: to get those guys wearing the blue shirts who are honored veterans, to get them the best experience as possible.
All right, so you fly in on Monday, fly into Baltimore, trek into Virginia.
Yep, all the way through. We track through part of Virginia right into Washington, D.C., and then back into Virginia. So yeah, we stay right by the Pentagon. So the guys get to get the visual as they come into the city. They can see all of the landmarks from a little bit of distance. Then we get to the hotel. We have dinner and we get a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Because the festivities are on the next day, my friend.
Tuesday's the big day.
The big day. We go around. So this trip, we start off, we see the World War II Memorial, which is stunning. You know, it's beautiful visually.
And I saw they got the fountains working again because last time we were there, the fountains weren't working.
Yeah, there's still a bit of construction going on. They're getting ready for the big celebration, 250 celebration, July 4th there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of construction still going on there, but it's still, like you say, the fountains were going, the reflecting pool was empty. So, you know, you don't quite get as much of the visual spectacle, but the World War II was pretty much intact, and guys got to see the fountains and everything working. So it was awesome. Yeah. So from World War II, we transition over to the other end of the mall where the Lincoln Memorial is. And also at the Lincoln Memorial, we have the Korea Memorial and the Vietnam Wall there. So we visited all 3 of those sort of in sequence there. And then we let our veterans, you know, enjoy that end of the mall for quite a little bit of time on their own after we do some ceremonies, both at the Korean Memorial and then over at the Vietnam Wall.
And it gives folks an opportunity not only to climb the steps and see Abe Lincoln, but a lot of folks will run over and go see Dr. King's Memorial as well.
Yes. Right after we go there, so Dr. King's is just a little ways away from this end of the mall, but we go after this. We go to lunch at the Franklin D. Roosevelt's his memorial, and it's a park setting.
Right.
So we eat our lunch there, and right next to that is Dr. King. And we advise everybody. It's such a beautiful.
It is.
It's amazing. Actually, it's almost haunting.
Yeah,
you know. And we advise everybody to go over there and at least spend a few minutes checking it out, reading some of the quotes, and just looking at the marvel that is the statue itself.
And then, if I remember correctly, you're off to Arlington after that, or?
Absolutely, you're all over it, Ralph. We went directly from there over to Arlington. We got to witness the changing of the guard, which is amazing. The guys, there's a lot of them. It's either the Capitol or Arlington are usually their favorite parts.
Yeah.
And we get to watch the changing of the guard, and the guards get to honor our guys with a little skid of their heel. It's their way of saluting them because they can't break from their routine, but that's their way of doing it. So our guys get to see the changing of the guard, and then we load up and we go back down the hill and we spend time at the Women's Memorial. We had 2 female veterans on our trip from Vietnam. And they got a ceremony at the Women's Memorial. It was very moving, and everybody cheered for them, and it caught them by surprise. And it was really
cool.
It's really awesome, when you can drop a surprise like that on our vets. Yeah,
And
the emotions are high when that happens.
And that's a great memorial. It really
it's
is.
awesome. Yeah.
And there's even a picture, a World War II picture of some Rosie the Riveters. And one of the women is a Bakersfield resident.
That's absolutely true. In fact, it's not the same one, but we took a couple of them, a couple of the Rosies on a trip maybe a few years back, and it was amazing. Yeah, it was amazing. They were incredible women.
Yes, they were.
It just to listen to the stories that they could tell, and I believe that they worked out of Shafter building airplanes. At least one of them. I don't remember what the other one did, but one of them worked out of
Louise, I believe her name was, who I think recently passed.
You have got a great memory.
No, I really don't. But I know she really recently passed.
Well, she was very memorable.
She was.
She was.
She
was
absolutely
incredible. And man, I would see her at a couple of events afterwards, and she was very engaging.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
So we got to witness the changing of the guard, the Women's Memorial, and I believe then the last thing we saw that day was the Iwo Jima Marine Corps Memorial, which was absolutely incredible as well. We've all seen them raising the flag on Iwo Jima, but until you go and see it there, you have no sense of scale and how big it is.
How gargantuan it is.
Yeah. And then we got all our Marine buddies, get out there and, be loud and get their picture taken. And it's a really fun time.
Talking with Jim Scroggins, he was the tour leader for Out of Flight 53. And that bizarre physical illusion when you're on the bus circling Iwo Jima. And I'm telling you, you think we're both idiots and crazy, but he will tell you as you're circling, like this is the monument right here. And the bus, there's a circular area for the buses. And as you circle this thing, it looks like the flag is going up. I swear to you. Am I lying, Jim?
No, you are not. I didn't believe it when the first time
I didn't either.
I'm like, yeah, sure. Nothing's moving there. And then we go around and I'm like, I don't know what's happening here.
It goes up. I'm telling you, it is crazy.
It's pretty awesome.
And it is a great monument.
Yeah.
And then you wrap it up.
Yeah, that was that day. So we would have normally at that point went and saw the Air Force Memorial.
Oh,
but unfortunately, it's all under construction right now because it's going
expanding
Arlington. Yes, sir. And it will actually be inside the gates of Arlington soon. So they're changing some of the configuration. So we drove by and got to see it up close, but not enter into it, which was unfortunate for our Air Force veterans. But we tried to make as much time so that they could see it. And you can see that memorial from all over town, especially we stayed at the hotel that's overlooking it, the same hotel that's the memorial is right between our hotel and the Pentagon.
Right.
So they got to look out. They could look out the window and constantly see it too. So
and tell the story about the 9/11 story about that hotel.
Yeah, I don't know if it's true or if it's a common myth, but I believe it's true that the plane that hit the Pentagon came right over the top of that hotel and clipped the antenna on that hotel. And the Air Force Memorial was not there yet, and had it been there, they would have hit the Air Force Memorial.
Absolutely.
So, but it clipped the tops of the Sheridan right there at the Pentagon. So,
yeah. And then the final day, you're off to Baltimore.
Yeah, so the final day we did the Capitol in the morning.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we get up in the morning early, 5:30 breakfast, and loading the buses by 6:30. And by 7, we've got Capitol Suite going on. So the Capitol Police come. They bring the dog and check the buses to make sure there's no contraband or anything that's not supposed to be on there. And then we get in the buses, and that's when the fun starts. We had about 10 motorcycle police and maybe 5 cars leading us up to the Capitol.
And when we say lead, we're talking about get out of the way. Here comes Honor Flight. On the freeway, on the streets, they part it like the Red Sea. It's remarkable.
Absolutely. There's a lot of unhappy motorists. You can
there
see
really are. Because it's like the heart of the morning, and they're on their way to work, and they're like, what do you mean, Garrett? What? And you get little dirty looks, but it is pretty cool.
I'll tell you, the guys, that's another one of their favorite parts, right? They feel like they're the president.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And there's that kind of motorcade, that kind does not happen for just anybody there.
No.
And it doesn't even happen for all the honor flights. We were talking with
Yeah.
some of them, and so I feel very blessed that our guys get that experience while they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to the Capitol, and the guys all get to come inside. We get to see, get into the rotunda. So the first thing is the spectacle of the rotunda, and all the guys want to stop there and take pictures. But
My favorite building.
oh, it's amazing, and we've got to go. We've got to keep rushing them through the rotunda because we have an appointment to actually go on the House floor. So David Valadeo and Vince Fong, our representatives, are in there, and we get to go into the House. All of our guys get seated. One of our gentlemen will get to vote. Both of our congressmen had a little speech for our guys talking about the history of the Capitol, the history of the room we're in, some of the things that have happened in there, and then they actually did a question and answer for quite a while, and then we got to go back and spend time in the rotunda and take pictures and such. And the guys are just in amazement, especially the guys who have never been there.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, that is cool.
Yeah, it's
and
really cool.
Kudos to Congressman Valadeo and Fong.
Absolutely.
Because they take that whole morning. They sometimes fly in specifically for honor flight. In other words, Congress won't be in session. Vince and David will be out here. They will fly to Washington specifically to spend that day with the veterans. And they, like he says, they answer all their questions. Then they go into the rotunda and they take pictures with anybody and everybody that wants a picture, signing hats, etc. They do a really nice job in supporting honor flight.
Yeah, it was amazing. So they actually, so we did skip over one thing the day before, and that's after we're done with the whole trip during the day, we honor our veterans that evening. And Congressman Fong brought his wife and son to the event, and it was just it's one of those things that just helps us bond as a group. And that's one of those things where you talk about every trip has a little different feel. The room always feels just a little different one way or the other, but man, what a great feeling. What a great feeling it always is, and this time was no different. The feeling of camaraderie in there and honoring, it was just awesome. We sang the national anthem and did the flag salute and everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I'm running out of time, Chris. Let's go. But you wrap it up in Baltimore at Fort McHenry, and I saw one of Kim Whitaker's pictures. And like I said, I've been on 7 trips, and I've never seen a sailboat right there in the harbor.
Yeah,
I have never seen that at Fort McHenry.
Yeah, there was something. I think it maybe has to do with some anniversaries or something. But they had a replica schooner out there, shot a cannon even.
Really?
Shot a cannon off it. Scared a lot of our veterans at first. They might have been ducking and looking around a little bit, but it shot off a really loud cannon. They had a really big flag ran up the pole to represent what it looked like the night Francis Scott Key saw it there and the shooting was happening and such. So when that was done, our team got to help fold that flag up as they just ran up our normal stars and stripes.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is pretty cool.
And off to the airport.
Well, Jim, thanks for all that you do for Honor Flight. You are one of the many pieces that make it work and make it work like no others. We've heard from bus drivers tell us. You guys are one of the most organized groups I do this every weekend, and you guys are one of the most organized. It's guys like you that make it work so well.
It's guys like you supporting us, Ralph, that really make it work too. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Jim Scroggins, everybody. Quick time out. The Jets have made their second pick because I'm assuming Mr. Mendoza is now officially a Raider.
Yes.
Okay. We'll come back and tell you what the number 2 pick is and who's on the clock.
Arizona.
The Arizona Cardinals. We'll get you updated real quick right after this break. It's the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, and we're streaming live at KernRadio.com. That was great. Dude, that was great. You have good memory. I can't even remember in sequence.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Friday edition, playing Buck after the big NFL draft. I'll be live from Washington, D.C. as D.C. prepares for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Trump will be the featured speaker at. It should be quite the scene. We'll have the HUD Secretary in studio with us and more. You won't want to miss it. Sitting you into the weekend. It's the Friday edition from Washington, D.C.
We did it for the Native American
Live
fight.
at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Summer is coming up, and a lot of you will have folks from out of town, relatives visiting, and there are just some things that you must see if you're visiting the city of Bakersfield. And one of them is the best steakhouse in Kern County, and that's KC Steakhouse. So if you've got relatives coming into town, make sure you take them to F Street and give them the KC experience. And make sure you go next door as well to the Stockyard, Speakeasy like bar. Make sure it's a Thursday, Friday, or Saturday night because there's live music in the Stockyard on those nights. And of course, Jimmy and Bobby are providing live music Tuesday through Saturday in the main restaurant. And even if your relatives aren't necessarily steak people, Chef Daniel has expanded the menu. There are all kind of different chicken dishes. I've told you about the different fish dishes, the salmon, the halibut, the mahi-mahi. Where would you rather be? That's the place you have to show visitors of our community our great steakhouse, KC Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of the Ralph Bailey Show.
Are gas prices the final straw to break the camel's back? Are you drowning in debt so that more gas means you can't pay for other essential stuff? Are you getting collection calls, emails, and texts on credit cards, medical debt, loans, buy now, pay later, and so forth? The attorneys at Clean Slate BK Group have a solution to make the nightmare go away. CSBK can stop the harassment, get rid of the balances, maybe even get your car payment reduced, and get you reset in the right financial direction for a fraction of the time and money of a debt settlement program. A Chapter 7 BK takes about 6 months, and at the end, the financial straws will be off your back. Log on to CSBK.com and read what real people just like you have to say about what CSBK has done for them. This is an attorney advertisement. Your results may vary, and prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. Clean Slate BK Group PC, located at 7 Penn Plaza, Suite 601, New York, 10001, is responsible for the content of this ad. For more information, visit CSBK.com. That's CSBK.com to end your financial nightmares.
Look, folks, when it comes to IT support, not all companies are the same. Many make big promises, but very few have the depth of talent, advanced systems, and proven solutions that Grapevine MSP brings to the table. At Grapevine MSP, they don't just fix problems, they prevent them. Their fully managed IT services keep your systems running smoothly and securely 24/7. So when something happens at 2 o'clock in the morning, you're not going to be stuck trying to reach your provider. Grapevine MSP's local team is already on it with advanced network monitoring. They generally catch the issue before you even notice, and they're calling you to say that it's already been handled. Their dedicated cybersecurity team protects you daily from evolving threats, while their industry-leading backup and disaster recovery keep your business online even in a crisis. All this for one simple, transparent monthly rate. Call 661-377-2992 or visit grapevinemsp.com to schedule your free network evaluation today. Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
You're listening to The Ralph Bailey Show. Catch me weekday morning 6 to 9.
I love the best running back in the draft is being exiled to the Cardinals. Although, you could turn them around. He could turn them around. Who's their quarterback now?
Jacoby Brissett, as far as I know.
Yeah, like I said, he's been exiled to the Cardinals. Jacoby Brissett. Although he's got you can't give up on these young quarterbacks. You really can't.
I don't know if we can call Jacoby young anymore, though.
No? What's he been in, 4 years? Brissett's been in longer than that?
Jacoby's been in for way longer than 4.
I thought it was like his 4th or 5th year. I thought he was still considered one of the young.
No. He is, he's 33 years old.
Holy crap.
He's been in the league.
He's on his way out.
In 2016.
Yeah, he's on his way out.
Yeah, he's been in the league for 10 years.
Am I reading that right? Who's up next? Tennessee? The Titans?
Tennessee, yeah, the Titans. This is where they think Arvell Reese or Sonny Styles will end up going. The two linebackers you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, because their defense sucks.
Well, they were hoping that Jeremiah Love would drop to him so they could get a replacement for Derrick Henry finally, but obviously that's not going to happen. But yeah, I mean, at this point, best you could do is bolster the defense or the offensive line.
I'm surprised no trades. I thought the Jets would trade.
You'll see a lot of trades probably in the 15 area, 15 to 20, for sure in the late first round.
Yeah.
Because they were talking about it earlier this week that there's really only 20 good players in this first round, like great players. Everybody else is really up in the air.
That's why I thought there'd be a bunch of trades early.
Yeah, because next year's draft is the one that everybody keeps talking about. It's going to have a lot of big guys. Yeah, specifically quarterbacks.
Yeah. All right. Well, at least my heart can stop pounding, and Mendoza is a Raider.
Yes,
it's official.
Him and Max Crosby will be leading the charge.
Isn't that crazy? You'd have never thought that.
It's going to be an interesting year next year.
It really is.
Him, Kirko, Max Crosby. I mean, yeah, well, let's see what happens with the running back in the second year, too.
It's going to be a fun year. When does Mahomes come back?
That's what I was telling JR. The minute you guys got Max Crosby back, I said, I can't wait to be in that locker room next season.
Oh, that's right. You guys go to Vegas.
Oh, I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to talk to Fernando and Max and all these guys.
Last half hour of the broadcast, when we come back, you will hear from the defense attorney in the case against Del Oro High School and Salvador Fabian. He is a staffer there who confessed to having a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old, but Del Oro High School is on the hook as well. Again, you'll hear from Krista Ramey, the defense attorney for the victim in this case, right after these important words. It's TRBS. I would stick around if I you.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. Authorities have arrested 2 young people in an alleged plot to attack a Texas synagogue. One court document says it appeared they planned to drive through the congregation to kill as many Jews as possible. The arrests follow an attack on a Detroit area synagogue last month. Synagogues worldwide have increased security since the U.S. and Israel launched a war with Iran. Police say 1 person died and 5 more were wounded after a shooting inside the food court at the Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge. Police have described it as a confrontation between 2 groups. Authorities had initially said as many as 10 people were injured, but the number was changed a few hours after the shooting. 5 people have been arrested. More are being sought. More on these stories at slnnews.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN Newsroom.
I'm Chris Davis. Several people turned up to speak at a public hearing about the proposed sewer rate increase at a Wednesday public hearing during the Bakersfield Council meeting. Eric Oriana, representing the Leadership Council, says they oppose the increase because low-income people are already stretched thin economically.
This rate increase would be unaffordable for nearly 1 in 4 residents in Bakersfield.
Public hearings continue through May. CALM, the California Living Museum, is collecting signatures to try and get a measure on the ballot for you to help pay for their efforts to help animals and expand. They are asking for an 1/8 of a cent sales tax increase and are 1,500 signatures away from getting that put on the ballot with a week left to reach their goal. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Attention, Medicare beneficiaries in Kern County. Are you looking for a doctor who truly listens, someone who cares about your health and respects your time with minimal wait times and prompt referral authorizations? Well, it may be time to learn about QualCare IPA. QualCare IPA partners with most Medicare Advantage health plans, giving you access to a large, community-based network of outstanding physicians and quality hospitals right here in Kern County. Local doctors, trusted hospitals, personalized care. Medicare Advantage plans offer benefits beyond original Medicare, but understanding your options for 2026 can feel feel overwhelming. That's where we can help. Call 661-554-4544 today to learn more about your Medicare Advantage choices. Our knowledgeable team is ready to help you understand your coverage options and make confident decisions about your care. Again, that's 661-554-4544. Get the information you need and the coverage you deserve. For accommodations of persons with special needs at meetings, call 661-554-4544, TTY 711.
First Look with Scott Cox. Morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Friday edition of the First Look program, we got the NFL draft. Apparently, that's a thing. We got more horrific details in the Zach Scribner situation. Our fun adventures in Iran. There's plenty of stuff going on there. We got news, we got traffic, we got weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Tell me on the air.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
The New York Football Giants are on the clock because the Tennessee Titans selected
wide receiver Carnell Tate from Ohio State. The Ohio State.
Another interesting
That
pick
one was interesting.
that I did not see coming at all.
David Bailey, I saw coming. Jeremiah Love, I always knew there was a chance.
We said he was going to go in the top 5.
Yeah, I mean, again, we were just talking about saying the highest he could go was 3. Lowest, I think, was going to be 5 right here to the Giants. But, I mean, the Carnell Tate one's interesting just because I expected them to bolster the offensive line to at least protect them first. But they want to find somebody for the kid to throw to, I guess.
Yeah, he does need a 1. I don't know if that kid's a 1. He's not big enough to be a 1.
He could always develop into that, though. Him and Mekhi Lemon both are very talented.
Yeah, and
Zachariah
the kid from Detroit isn't that big either. I just like a big receiver. Who am I talking about? St. Brown?
Yeah, you're thinking St. Brown. Exactly.
He's not that big.
No, but he doesn't necessarily need to be.
Devontae Smith isn't that big.
No. At least not your typical big receiver.
I just like a big receiver. You can just kind of throw it up to kind of an
like
AJ
a DK
Brown
or an AJ.
Yeah, I like that kind of. But you're right. There are a lot of successful small receivers. Hell, the Drunkard isn't that big. What's the kid's name? Puka. Yeah. He's not
deceptively though. He
he's
plays
thick.
Big. Yeah,
he's thick as a and he's strong as hell.
The Samoan blood, man. I'm telling you,
but he's not that big a guy.
No.
But you're right.
He plays big though.
Yeah, he does.
He will blow right past you or bowl you over.
What was his situation? Was it drinking or was it drugs?
So it's kind of drinking. He's really spiraled since him and his girlfriend broke up last off season.
And he ended up biting some broad in a bar?
That's what she's claiming. All this is alleged.
Oh, I saw you haven't seen the
I've seen the bite mark. That's why I think I'm just going along the legal route here of saying it's alleged. But yeah, he's currently in rehab dealing with all of this.
No, he's out. He's out of rehab.
Oh, he's out now?
Yeah, he's out of rehab. Yeah, he was at training camp.
Oh, okay, good. Well, I'm glad to see he's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just had a really rough string of decisions. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Who are the Giants going to pick?
At this point, I'm not 100% sure. I legitimately think they were hoping that Jeremiah Love was going to be here. Maybe an offensive lineman.
If they get that linebacker from Ohio State.
Yeah, it would help a lot.
Oof. Because didn't they just get rid of one of their linemen? Pretty sure. Just lost my producer. I don't know where the hell he went. And if he's opening the door for a stranger, I'm going to kill him. Because nobody should be here at 5:34 in the afternoon but us. Nothing but us. 842-5376, 842-KERN. I wanted to play some audio for you, but kind of need Mr. Burdick for that. So we're just going to hang it on until we find out what the hell is going on our radio station. We want to get into the situation of the Del Oro High School, and it's just, I guess, just lucky coincidence that as some of you should know, over the last couple of days, I've been talking about accountability. And then this lawsuit came up where they're going after Christina Raymond, is the attorney, and she's going after both the Del Toro High School and the alleged suspect. Well, he's not an alleged suspect, he is a suspect, Salvador Fabian, who has admitted that he knew the girl was 15, he had sex with her. Here is Krista Rama. She is the attorney for the victim.
His relationship with our client began almost immediately after the school year began. And he was spending a lot of time with her, both with students initially alone with them, with multiple students, and then with her alone.
The lawsuit basically says that this guy was grooming her with favoritism and favors. It goes on to say that the Kern High School District school administrators and band staff, quote, systematic failures that allowed the abuse to occur on campus and during school-sponsored activities. Here's more from Krista Rama.
They saw some security guards on campus. They stayed in his car in the faculty parking lot where they had sexual intercourse for the first time.
So he was taking her off campus, brought her back on campus, and they almost got popped by one of the security guards, and then ended up having sex in his vehicle on the campus for the very first time. Here's the final from Krista Rama, who gets to my point about accountability by the school itself.
Schools are trained on this. Teachers are trained on this. Administrators are trained on this. And evidently they have not paid attention to that training and have allowed this to happen.
Exactly. And I think every school where it occurs, the administrator should be held accountable. And we should make that clear from the get-go, because I bet if we make that clear, that if you're a school administrator and one of your teachers goes down like this, you're going to be held responsible as well. I bet the training turns up then. I bet the blind eyes aren't blind anymore. Now, I'm not saying hold the administrators criminally responsible. You can't do that. You can't do that. I understand that. Don't play me like I'm a dummy. But you can certainly hold them culpable civilly. You can certainly get in their pocket. And maybe you can get after them criminally, particularly if they were negligent, particularly if they were purposely negligent, if they purposely lent a blind eye and tried to move somebody on. I mean, again, I hate to be redundant, but it gets back to this Don Ricketts guy who was passed along not only from job to job, but got to a church and was passed along, got to a school and was promoted. And now the church and the Fairfax School District is on the hook for $5 million. The kids don't know how to read, but they've got enough money to settle sexual suits because they've lent a blind eye and not done what they're supposed to do, not followed their training, not followed the crumbs, not followed these people, kept an eye on them, and done something about them when rumors start to fly, as opposed to just lending a blind eye and hoping that it'll go away. And that's exactly what happens. These administrators just don't want to deal with it. It's like why we talk about like being a war president. That's the last thing you want as a president, is to become a war president, because it eats up your administration. I mean, it manipulates all your time. Well, as a school administrator, the last thing you want is some kind of sex scandal on your campus or within your district. Because now, not only does it cause chaos, but it shines on you. And once these administrators get in this cloud of administration, they're all like crabs trying to climb off top of one another and climb up to the top, because the higher they climb, the more money they get. So let's knock them down a peg. You know what I'm saying? If you're a principal or an administrator at a school, where there's sexual abuse going on, you're no longer a principal. We're going to take your principal stripes away from you. It is about time that the people that are paid to take care of our children are held accountable when those children aren't taken care of. You could argue that this is even more significant than passing these kids along without the ability to read, because this impacts them for the rest of their lives. And if it's a young woman, a young girl, they're almost at that point obligated to end up on a pole. You know what I'm saying? Or just having sexual issues, either sleeping with too many boys or going the opposite way, being freaked out by sex and not wanting to have a boyfriend or a husband or have children. When are we going to deal with this nonsense? At what point are we going to take seriously the good conversation we always have about taking care of our children? Because as I say, we talk a great game. We really do. But when it really comes down to it, people in responsible positions, either for fear that it will somehow speak of them, or they just don't want to go through the trouble of dealing with the chaos, and they absolutely turn their heads and lend a blind eye. And it should be criminal. It should be criminal. Let's go ahead and take our final break of the day. And we'll come back, get you updated on the draft. The lowly Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock.
Yeah, something happened. I got to figure this out. They traded with Cleveland.
Oh, did they really? Aha. We'll get you updated when we come back. Tomorrow's a Friday. Rick Bentley will be here. Oh, something's popping. We're going to have some news when we come back.
I was a great. I know. But I'm just.
Hang on. In the meantime, you're listening to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. And we're streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Friday edition, Clay and Buck after the big NFL draft. I'll be live from Washington, D.C. as D.C. prepares for the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which Trump will be the featured speaker at. It should be quite the scene. We'll have the HUD Secretary in studio with us and more. You won't want to miss it. Sitting you into the weekend. It's the Friday edition from Washington, D.C. of Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m., News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Sangera Subaru. So winter is gone. The weather is finally starting to get warmer. Time to head over to Sangera Subaru. Wouldn't it be nice to drive off?
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Say what?
Whenever you're ready. Chiefs took Mansour Delane. He's a corner.
I know, but they don't need a corner.
They kind of do.
Everybody needs a corner.
Yeah. Remember, they just picked up the two Rams. No. Did the Rams just pick up their two corners or vice versa?
I don't know.
I have to look this back up, but yeah.
Wow. This is a weird draft. And that kid from Ohio State must be like, mother.
Oh no, Arvell went. Arvell went to the Giants.
Oh, did he? Oh, did he really? That's
Arvell
what I thought. Back. Good.
Yeah, so they're going to put him on the opposite side of Abdul Carter.
Yes. They might screw around
good
and
in
be
like 3-4 years.
3, 2. So Xavier Becerra is the one that is taking advantage of Eric Swalwell's departure, but he was lackluster, to say the least, in the debate. I'm telling you guys, hang on. There's a chance that Hilton and Bianca will be atop of the leaderboard when all is said and done. 3, 2, it's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Friday TRBS. Well, it's a Friday. KGT entertainment reporter Rick Bentley will be here. And of course, we'll get you updated on the situation in Iran, as well as the NFL draft. All that, me at 3. It's TRBS, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at currentradio.com. I'll see you at 3.
No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is McGruff the Crime Dog, and I need you to help me take a bite out of crime. Counterfeit products are popping up everywhere. Fake sneakers, fake cosmetics, and even fake pills. Crooks are selling counterfeit versions of just about everything. Last year, billions of dollars worth of counterfeit products were sold in the U.S. Sure, it may seem like saving a few bucks on the things you want isn't a big deal, but counterfeits are usually made in unsafe conditions, potentially using hazardous and even lethal ingredients that could harm you and others. And the money you've paid, it goes right into the hands of criminals and may support child labor, drugs, and even gangs. Smells like big crime to me. So if you still think buying fake products is harmless, think again. And remember, if you don't know where the products came from, how could you know where the money goes? You're smart, buy smart. Go for real. Learn more at McGruffPSA.org. This message is brought to you by the United States Patent and Trademark Office and the National Crime
Play
Prevention
Travis
Council.
and Buck Sexton live at 9 a.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show.
One two five 376 842 KERN. Catch us up. The Washington Commanders are on the clock. But catch us up, Chris.
So Arvell Reese from Ohio State ended up going to the Giants at 5.
I think he is the best defensive player in the draft.
That's fair.
That's what I say.
That's fair. We'll see what happens. I like Baines, Ruben Bain, whatever his name was, but we'll see what happens on that one. The Chiefs traded up with the Browns to number 6 to select Mansour Delane from LSU. That's the cornerback.
Too small.
Honestly, I think he's good, and they needed somebody to take over for Trent McDuffie, who they traded away to the Rams. And then the Washington Commanders just selected Sonny Styles, the other linebacker, the middle linebacker for the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Another stud, but I think Arvell's better. But that kid's a stud. Sonny Styles is a stud.
The Saints are now on the clock.
Who cares? Inconsequential.
They'll probably take a receiver, to be honest. Or a lineman to protect Shuck.
Or Tyler Simpson out of nowhere.
Yeah, I can see that.
Who's their quarterback right now?
Tyler Shuck, who they actually like.
Which is a mistake. So
but again, let them make the mistake.
Yeah, they're not going to take Simpson then. Because they believe in this kid.
Most likely team that's left to take Ty Simpson more than likely would be the Jets again at 16, or I keep saying Minnesota at 18.
They're giving up on the Michigan kid already?
Kinda, yeah. They're pretty much ready to hit the button, and then Kyler Murray is the backup plan, and God only knows what that's going to look like.
Ugh.
So Ty Simpson could have a good shot if he's put in that situation.
If Kyler Murray put his head into football, he could be a decent quarterback. I just don't think he likes playing football. I think he'd rather play baseball.
I think
there's
you're
more
right.
money in football. There's more money for him in football than there is baseball. He's not going to get a 10-year mega contract in baseball.
Not anymore.
But he's making, what is he making, $50, $60 million? Easy.
He was.
Because he got the big contract. Now, does he get a second big contract? He better have a damn good year this year, boy, I'll tell you that. Because if he doesn't get that second big contract. And that's the one that gets you almost to retirement. You know, you sign another 4 or 5 year deal. How old is, hey Siri, how old is, what's the child's name?
Kyler Murray's 28.
You see what I'm saying? So you sign one more contract at 29. That gets you to 33, 34. You're starting to think about hanging it up at that point. Because ain't no way somebody's going to sign him to a 34 because he's not going to age well. Runners don't age well, especially small runners. Tua is not going to age well.
Tua's not even a runner either.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. He is not going to age well, but we'll see what happens. Anything left on the board before I get out of here?
Yeah, we got a couple.
What do you got?
Here. Curious, as I am not an attorney, Scrivener didn't beat the charge of sexual assault against a minor. He wasn't charged at all. So why can't they just say that new evidence exists and charge him for all of that right now?
That is a very good question.
That's a very valid question.
It really is. I'm pretty sure the answer would be that it's too close to the original charge and would probably be considered double jeopardy. And I'm not certain what attorney we're going to have in on Tuesday because it's the final week of Teresa Goldner's vacation. But I will definitely ask them that because that is a good question. But my assumption would be, and if there's an attorney out there, feel free to tighten us up. We got a few minutes left. But I would assume that that would be too close to the original charge and it would be considered double jeopardy. But yeah, Robert Scrivener's testimony that he gave to the state, to that, committee should have been said in court, basically. Should have been said in court. What else?
It is illegal to be drunk on a horse in California. Legal in Texas, though. Apparently, it's not a DUI, but the rider can be arrested for public intoxication.
Makes sense, because you can get in trouble drunk as a skunk on a horse. You could hurt somebody. You could hurt yourself. But they don't give a damn. You can drive around. You can drive your car and drink in Texas. They have drive-through liquor stores in Texas, from what I understand. Haven't spent a lot of time in Texas, but what else you got?
Ralph, every time you go to the Dodger game, they go on a 3-game slump. Just saying.
That is not true.
We'd have to look back at history.
I know.
On that
There's
one.
so many you would have to look back at. And we have the date because I go every April 15th.
It's true, though. Like, if we went
Wouldn't
back
that be
and found
funny?
out, that would be funny.
Wouldn't that be funny? Well, look up their record. Last April 16th, 17th, and the 18th. We're not leaving until we find out if they went on a 3-game losing streak last year. Because I was there April 15th. I think it was in the middle of a homestand.
No, they won on the 15th. On the 16th.
Thank you. So that puts that to an end. Hey, Ralph, Flight 53 photo credits go to Ed Gaither and April Mysterio McGill. I was not on the flight, but glad you remember who I am. I apologize. I attributed the photographs to Kim Whitaker, and that should have been Ed Gaither and April Mysterio McGill. I apologize. I think Ed Gaither is the guy that broke my sunglasses. Sat on my $150 Ray-Bans, and he said, "Let me buy you some more." And I was like, "No." And he went to the damn. I'm not complaining. It's just funny to me. It's really not a complaint, but it's just funny. He went to the gift shop at the Baltimore airport and bought me a $15 pair of glasses to replace my $150 Ray-Bans. I was just like, no. One more, and I am walking to Fredonia.
Let's see. Even though I'm a Hilton voter, I was very impressed with Bianco's performance. Amongst the Democrats, I thought Mahan did the best, although it pains me to say it, I had Porter as second best.
Ooh. Well, yeah, because I don't think that's really a statement about Porter as much as it is about Xavier Becerra and those other leaders who were horrendous. I agree with you. By default, Porter was second or third best, but I think that is the overwhelming consensus that Chad Bianco had the best night. I don't think there's any question about that. I think Steve Hilton had a good night. He had some nice zingers, but I think the consensus from both Mr. Turnipseed and from Kathy Abernathy, and even I'll throw in my 2 cents, that Chad Bianco had the best night. And that's a good thing, because I think we're assured that Hilton will be there. It's a matter of, can we squeeze Bianco in that second spot, thus assuring the state of a Republican governor. And I think it's possible, as unlikely as it may be, and I'll grant you, it is unlikely, it is still possible. And the fact that there's no endorsement from the state, from Pelosi, from Newsom still, even after the debate, they haven't found a candidate, that is perfect. It'll be watered down, the percentages will be spared out, and that'll keep it low, and Bianco and Hilton get in, and we are assured a Republican governor for the first time since 2006. Want to thank Mike Turnipseed, Daniel Petrie, Jim Scroggins from Honor Flight tomorrow, Rick Bentley. In the meantime, for Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I will rap to you tomorrow.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. President Trump says he's taking the necessary time to secure a great deal with Iran. White House correspondent Greg Clugston reports.
With the war dragging past the president's projected 4 to 6 week timeline, he said he's in no rush to end the conflict before an acceptable deal is reached.
I took it out militarily. Now what we're doing is sitting back and seeing what deal. And if they don't want to make a deal, then I'll finish it up militarily.
The president said Iran's leaders are very disorganized and are fighting like cats and dogs, which has contributed to a pause in negotiations. Greg Clugston, Washington.
3 congressional candidates are accused of betting on their own elections through the prediction market Kalshi. Correspondent Bernie Bennett has more.
On Wednesday, Kalshi said it fined and suspended the men for 5 years. It's the latest case to highlight ongoing concerns about insider trading on prediction markets like Kalshi and Polymarket. The accused include Mark Moran, running as an independent in Virginia, Zeke Enriquez, a former Texas Republican primary candidate, and Matt Clyde,